And I want to welcome, we're being broadcasted to also the west coast of Florida. So welcome Tampa, welcome Sarasota, welcome Pasco Hernando, welcome Panama City, welcome Tallahassee, welcome Ocala, and also welcome the U.S. Virgin Islands, welcome San Juan, Puerto Rico, welcome Mayagüez, Puerto Rico, welcome Ponce, Puerto Rico. I got them all in. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. So we're being broadcasted across the country, well, Florida and the Caribbean. So this is the time. Take next 60 seconds, notebook and pen, and you're going to want to really take notes at this meeting. If you're from my office, this is the meeting where I get to show you what my real job is. Okay, and who is at SC1? Who came to the conference SC1? So you guys got a chance to see. Dennis, you saw that. Lewis, and then Kate, you saw that meeting. That's different. That's what I really do. Okay. Besides those of you that just finished training, you know me as Jeff, who trained you for Cutco to start, but I get the chance to really dive into what I'm excited about. And this meeting is going to help you not just learn about those opportunities. I mean, it's going to help you make a lot more sales, make a lot more money, and most importantly, get what you want from the company, which ideally is your most powerful professional and personal growth experience, and also a chance to meet some people. So I'm going to give you about 60 to 90 seconds, get your last text messages out of the way, get your last, I love you, bye baby Boo Bear, I gotta go, I'll call you later. If you need help with notebooks and pens, this is the time. And if you just walked in, I'm gonna have David give you guys a name tag, and we'll start in just 2 minutes. Hold on. Let's see. Go ahead, Harry. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. Wouldn't you agree? Because if you're from my office, if you don't know this answer, you can get out right now. Because people don't buy Cutco, they buy two things. They buy your
enthusiasm and belief.
Yeah, and if you don't know that, that's what people will buy. Many of you have friends that have recommended you to the job that are selling a ton of Cutco, and part of why you're here is you're probably not selling as much as you'd like. That's part of why you're here, and I'm so excited to share that with you. But if we can get you pumped about the product all the time, it's going to make a big difference. So first, before we start, if you're not from my office, I'm the guy from the videos. Okay, how many of you have seen some video of me, whether it's in training or team meeting? So welcome. If you're from the Fort Lauderdale pilot office, hey.
Hi.
All right, hi. Okay. But I want to welcome you, first of all, to our Sldm. So pull out notebooks and pens. Let's dive in. We're going to have a great session today and also virtually. I want to say welcome to our sales leadership development meeting. And before we start, this is something I say all the time. Take care. And I say this all the time. You guys have seen this emoji 100%, right? You guys have seen this? Okay. I want you guys to be 100% engaged today, because the meeting you're going to get is going to be the meeting based on what you give. And that's how this works. If you give me 50%, you get that much from the meeting. But if you give me 100, not 99, not half, if you give me 100%, here's what happens every time. People leave this meeting. If you're from my office, if you're from Miami, if you're from the West Coast, if you're from Puerto Rico, people leave this meeting on fire, excited, and the results show. And people, they leave this meeting as leaders in our organization. And I've been doing this for 20 plus years now. This is now 21 summers and 21 summers and 20 years for me with Cutco. And I've coached a lot of students through our Leadership Academy. I've coached a lot of students, a lot of your managers for people who are formerly students of mine through TLA, through Leadership Academy. I see Kirsten in the back. 1 year ago, I met Kirsten at this meeting. And so I want to share with you, these are things that I see from people who are 100% engaged. Can I share this with you real quick? Because this is what I want for you. Is that cool? Okay. Number one, and I want you to write down, they seek best practices. Seek best practices. So you're here because you want to hear from the division manager that when he sold Cutco, this is me, I was the #1 rep in the entire country. No one sold more Cutco in the entire United States of America than me. There were about 15 to 20,000 college students selling Cutco, and I sold more than anyone. At the time, my homemaker was only $683. That's how old I am. And it's like inflation. So what's the homemaker now? Yeah, so half the price. So I sold about $76,000 in my first summer in 3 months. So if you, let's say, double the prices, it's the equivalent of me selling about $120,000 to $130,000 worth of Cutco now in 3 months. Okay, so just to give you an idea. And so you're here, when you seek best practices, when you do things the way the best people do it, the way your manager teaches, the way I'm going to teach it today, here's the red part. It's going to give you a lot of confidence. And you know what's really cool? I know there are a lot of you who don't have full confidence yet in Cutco, but you're here because you want to learn. Otherwise, you would have found an excuse or a reason not to come today. My tummy hurt here. I have to do this for mom there. Oh, I have something coming up. But you took the time to take the trip, the time, the energy, the attention to come here. So let's make it worth your time. What do you think? Can we make it worth your time today? Yes?
Yep.
Okay, number two, they're hungry for growth. When a leader is 100% engaged, they always want to grow. They always want to get better. They're never satisfied. When they sell a homemaker, they're not celebrating. They're happy, but they're excited to get more. When they sell the first complete, they don't celebrate. They want to know how I can always do it. When they have the first $3,000 or $6,000 week, which in our office, that's the staple of a constant rep. You sell between $3,000 to $6,000 every week. And then once in a while, we have people who will go for a big week over $6,000. Okay, or just doing the job is $1,000 for the week. If you've been in my office, you know that just showing up to the job is doing $1,000 because you can sell a homemaker and do that. I find the #1 thing I see in people who are hungry for growth is that they're always taking notes. They're always looking to get better. Versus, I always have one person training every week like this. Right? I say, this is what you need to do to sell. Right? And guess who doesn't sell? Yeah, that person. So take a lot of notes, get engaged. I want you to be able to go back to these notes. And then finally, this is probably the biggest part of the meeting, is to provide personal clarity. When you're 100% engaged, you have personal clarity. And here's what I mean. I don't mean on your whole life. You guys are kind of young for that. But some of you are. Some of you are aspiring doctors and lawyers and physicians and engineers, and you know that. But what I want to provide clarity for you on today is what you can do with this Cutco job. what you can do with this vehicle, what you can do with this largest college student recruiting company in North America that you just randomly got recommended to or randomly got a letter for, instead of just selling the knives. Don't get me wrong, selling knives is awesome. I was speaking to 10K fast start. Who just hit 10K fast? Right, it was Alex. Okay, Alex just hit his 10K fast start.
We know him on the 10K.
Oh, on his 10K fast. Someone just hit 10K. Right. No, right?
Yeah.
So Noah just hit 10K. I know Kate in my office just hit 8K. So when you get to dirty 30, that's where the job starts to really get going. Okay, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. But if you have personal clarity today on how you can use Cutco to help you with your medical career, with your business entrepreneurship, with being, doing Cutco through college, everything is a lot easier. And you know what happens? You become a better decision maker. And if you're at SC1, what decision are you able to make more of when you're really clear on things? Kate, what are you able to say when you're clear on things? Yes or no? No, yeah, you're able to say no. Lewis, Friday night, let's go.
No.
You know what? No, I got a push week tomorrow. I got 10 appointments in the next 2 days. Pablo, hey, we're going to the beach this weekend. Yeah, but there's this contest, and honestly, I'm trying to get onto this Leadership Academy program, and I don't want to lose momentum. So you know what? How about after my push? It's really easy to say no. Let's say you're looking to get into a certain type of shape, right? It's really easy to say no to that extra piece of chocolate cake or that late night wing run that I love to do in college, right? Just because I love wings, okay? So my point is, to be engaged, you look for the best practices, okay? You're hungry to grow, and you guys get personal clarity. And that's what this meeting is about. This is the best meeting I run. This is better than SC1 if you went. It's shorter, it's a different meeting. I believe this is the best meeting. Why? Because it narrows it down to you what you can do with the opportunity, okay? So can I get your 100% engagement today? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What that means too, and this is just a fancy schmancy psychological way to show you, to answer me out loud and participate. You'll get a better teacher. You'll retain the information more. And if you remember from my training, Karate Kid, remember wax on and wax off? What happens when you say things out loud?
Start remembering.
Yeah, from my office. Remember 7 steps to the sale? How many? I kept asking you. It's like, all right, Jeff, okay. But then what happens? You guys start to memorize it. Same thing. So can I get your verbal acknowledgement on all my questions today? Yes?
Yes.
Can I get you to take a ton of notes and be 100% engaged? Yes?
Yes.
All right, awesome. We'll take a lot of notes. Let's have a lot of fun. Welcome to our Sales Leadership Development Meeting. You can write this down. SLDM stands for Sales Leadership Development Meeting. Okay, let me make sure the TV is linked up. Perfect. Sales Leadership Development Meeting. Okay. And this meeting is great. I want to, formally introduce myself. Again, my name is Jeff Gamboa. I'm the division manager for the Florida United team for Cutco Cutlery. There are 40 divisions across Vector Marketing across the country and the Caribbean. And I have the opportunity, the privilege, and the honor of running everything in the majority of Florida, all of the Caribbean, including the island of Puerto Rico down there, which I'll be seeing you in about 2 weeks. And then, of course, the Caribbean island of the Virgin Islands as well, okay? I love spending time with new reps. I love talking to people. I work with all of your managers directly. In fact, yesterday we had a staff meeting with every manager in the Florida United team. So if you're from John Heisman's office, if you're from Orlando Bierstein's office, if you're from Soleil Hernando's office, if you're from Karina Marquez Sterling's office, if you're from Metro Miami and Andrew's office back there, okay? Or if you're from our office led by Luke, that's my job. Okay, but I wouldn't want to be spending any other time right now in this very busy season than with the group in here, because this, my friends, is the future. So here's what I want to cover with you today. I want to cover the objectives of our meeting. Number one, I want to dramatically increase your sales. The key word is dramatic. This isn't a meeting where you go back to Fort Myers, you go back to Kendall, you go back down the street to Plantation or Weston or Boca or Lighthouse Point, where some of our reps live. This isn't the meeting where you go back and say, oh, that was cool. I got a couple tips. Yeah, that was cool. This is the meeting where you go, oh my gosh, Karina, I had no idea. This is the meeting where you walk in and you say, where's Luke? Where's Luke? Luke, you've been holding back. I didn't know. Okay, this is the meeting where you text Andrew on the way back and say, Andrew, thank you so much for this meeting. I now know what I want to do with the company. And this isn't just selling the knives for money anymore. I can do so much more in the next 4 summers with Cutco. Number two, I want to help educate you on future opportunities. We want to help educate you on future opportunities. For some of you, it means just getting on the Key Staff program. Key Staff are the leaders of each group, of each training team, of each office. They're the people that get the most attention. All the way up to how can you put yourself in a position to run a Cutco operation for a summer and get what is now arguably the #1 most looked at, most highly touted, and really most interesting and resume appealing internship that I think they have for people under 25 years old, and that's running a branch office. How can you get into our leadership academy? This is by far why we're the largest college student recruiting company in North America. We have a program where people through college can experience better resume skills, better skills, and better finances before they go into their careers. We're going to talk about that today. And then the last thing is, this is my recruiting meeting. This is my meeting where I get to look for the future of 2018. Okay? So with that being said, in this room are future leaders, you don't even know it. In this room are the future assistant managers and interns of our company. In this room are the future, believe it or not, in this room are future district career managers who will do college and then do Cutco for another 2 or 3 years after college before another career. And in some cases, we have the future full-time Cutco sales professionals and maybe even people like me who run an office year-round. So I want to say welcome. I'm excited for today, and more importantly, welcome to our United team. We call ourselves, our nickname is the U, right? Very like football term if you're into sports. And the Florida United team right now is the fastest growing division in vector marketing, at least from what I can see. What's really cool is that you're part of a team that 2-3 years ago started as a really small, insignificant, not very competitive office team. Probably started with about 9 to 11 managers. Now we're just shy of 20 offices deep. And for the second week in a row, we're the the highest selling total division in the Eastern region and one of the top 5 in the company every single week. Okay, a lot of the top reports. The #1 office in the company last week was the Fort Lauderdale pilot office led by Luke. The #1 branch office run by a college student in the whole company was Metro Miami, run by Andrew. And the #1 new office in the entire country was led by Fort Myers and Orlando Beersing, and all 3 come from the United team. Okay, any basketball fans? Like, we have the big 3. We have the big 3 here. Any non-basketball fans? We're just really good. Is that cool? Okay. So we also do a lot of hashtags and emojis when I text you. How many of you have texted me before? Okay. My favorite one was Kate's. Kate did the psh with the light bulb. If you went to SC1, it was awesome. I'll talk about that. So the United team, and we're really big on to this emoji. In fact, I just put an order in. I think you know those fat head signs. Yeah, I just bought a fat head sign to this guy, and we're gonna bring it to Atlanta for our conference. So we're gonna show off a lot. So here's what's important though, not the emoji. That's not the important part. The important part is this. I want you to write this down. The M3PG experience. Our goal is for you, while you're working with us, whether it's one summer, multiple summers, maybe you do Cutco through college, maybe you do it post-college, is that you get the most powerful professional personal growth experience in working with us. Meaning, when you go on to apply for med schools, when you go on to apply to be a lawyer, engineer, doctor, businessman, businesswoman, start your own company, work for a corporation, accounting, no matter what you do, we want you to be able to look back and say, you know, through college, the best thing I did was work with Cutco through college because my skills were better, my resume was better, and I made a lot of money during college. I was financially independent before I got a job after college to be financially independent. Our main goal is to turn you into this. Any athletes here? High school athletes? Okay. What's a 5-star high school athlete? What does that mean when you're a 5-star recruit? You're a top recruit. And which colleges want you? Ready? Everyone. Not just the mediocre ones. Who really wants you? Yeah, all the best ones. All the best teams come to your school. All the best teams come to your house and talk to your mom about why they'll take care of you in college. They want to recruit you. So we're not here to create athletes. Okay, that's not. In fact, the half of our division is very non-athletic, to be honest. That's okay. We're here to create 5-star college graduates. A 5-star college graduate is the person that doesn't say, man, I hope I get a job. The 5-star college graduate isn't the one that says, man, I hope I get into med school or a couple so I have options. The 5-star college graduate says, here's my major. Everyone in my major wants me, and I have to pick. A 5-star recruit is when I graduated from college, I had 15 job interviews. By the way, 15 job interviews alone was already a big deal. I got 15 job offers, 3 business schools, 3 grad schools, 3 business programs, and 7 sales jobs. All said yes to me. And I was a 5-star recruit. And that's what I'm so excited about today. I'm so excited to show you how you can use Cutco to create a 5-star reputation. When you graduate, I want those calls 3 or 4 years from now when you say, Jeff, it's Brooke. What's up, Brooke? What's going on? Oh my gosh. Remember I told you I wanted to be a blank? What's your major going to be? What do you think? Marketing. I told you I wanted to get into those big 3 marketing firms. Well, I got into big 1 and 2 and 3 this week and wanted to call you and say thank you. And I want to tell you that my experience through Cutco, and then the phone call gets better and better. Those are my favorite phone calls. I want to be there for that. So we want to turn you into a 5-star recruit. I also want to tell you that the way we operate here is really specific to Florida United. And I know if you're in my office, you're kind of spoiled because you see me all the time. In about 2 weeks, I'm never really here. You only see me at the big events. But Luke embodies this. John Heisman embodies this. Okay, Karina embodies this. Metro Miami, Andrew, who's from this office, embodies this. Orlando, who's from Fort Myers, embodies this. Soleil from Naples embodies this. I'm missing someone. No, I got everyone. Okay, cool. Number 1, you can expect 4 things from anyone that's running a United Team office. You can expect, number 1, true professionalism. Not just in the way that they speak and not just their language, not just how they dress, but how they treat people. True professionalism. We have a comforting, respectful, high-powered organization where every person shows tons of respect and professionalism. Number 2, you can expect explosive team building. What do I mean by that? Our division is known for recommending lots of people to the job and growing our team to help others get the experience, but also to be really competitive. Raise your hand if you're here because someone recommended you. Case in point. Raise your hand if you're here and you were not recommended, but you got a letter or you applied. Yeah, so we would have an 8-person meeting instead. By the way, a great 8. By the way, I'm just saying. Look at the size of our team now. It practically triples because of explosive team building. Not to mention, we give you some cool things, don't we? Jamaica, and you can also win a trip to Jamaica. I think it's worth that. And of course, the smaller prizes, the experiences and the Yeti Rambler. I think these are all important, but the emphasis is to say we want people to recommend people so we can build better people on our team. And of course, birds of a feather flock together, so don't forget that. Number 3, high standards of sales performance. When it's time to sell and it's a big contest period, it's time to make a statement. The Florida United team, our United team, is always coming to play. We just had what I thought was a tremendous Summer Conference 1 event last week. It was actually at the Westin over in Cape Coral. I think 3 of you were there. Raise your hand if you were at the SC1 event. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of you were there, okay? Awesome event. It was one of our largest SC1 conferences. Without going into too much detail, how was it, everyone?
It was great.
Yeah. What you thought it would be?
Totally different.
Totally different. And what happened after?
Oh, sales.
Yeah, you
Sales.
exploded. Okay, and you got more information. Same thing here on a more concentrated level. But how ironic, in the next couple of weeks, we're building momentum to the Super Bowl of all push week periods, and that's called the SC2 Conference Push. It's an 18-day push where every office in the East Coast is competing, and we're gonna gather and culminate the push at the big epic event called Summer Conference 2. If you went to Summer Conference 1, it's that times 10, times 7. Okay, we're renting out the convention center by the airport for it, and our Florida United team is going to go and represent the south side of the region, and we're going to be gathering in Atlanta, Georgia for that event. I'll tell you a little bit more details. And then finally, anchor number 4 of the Florida United team is aggressive pursuit of growth. We're the division known as the personal growth division. We're the division that's known of trying to be the best version of ourselves. We're the division that's known where our students are not too young to learn about development, are not too young to learn about money, are not too young to learn about how to buy a house or to save money. Our students are 17 and 18 learning how to create investment accounts. Our students are 19 and 20 learning how to buy their first property by 21. Our students are 17 years old, still going into their senior year of high school and already are managing 2 or 3 bank accounts and have actual money to put in the account. That was actually their money, not mom and dad's too. That's pretty cool. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So I travel often, as you know. You may or may not know, but I go to Puerto Rico often. And this was a really cool sign I saw in JetBlue. I usually fly Southwest, but randomly I was walking down the causeway, and it says, our standards beat their extras. And respectfully, if you're part of the United team, and you'll see this if you get invited to SC2, we just have a higher standard, not of just sales and not just of competition, but higher standards of how we treat people, how we help support each other. And if you're athletic or if you're competitive in any type of club or sport, you always know what it's like to be on the regular team and then the select team. You know what it's like to be in the fraternity store that everyone can get into, the one that is really hard to get into. You can put that for school, you can put that for church, for synagogue. That's the place to be. And I can tell you we have that here at the Florida United team. We're really excited. The National Sales Report, I'll show this to you later, but I'll I'll show you the #1 office, Fort Lauderdale, the #1 new office from the United team, Fort Myers. I'll show you the #1 branch office in the company for Metro Miami. There's just something cool about being on the winning team. And even if you're not competitive, whose team would you rather be on? The team that loses or the team that wins? The team that's stagnant or the team that's growing?
Growing.
Yeah, and that's what you've got here, both. And it's really exciting. And this is some proof of this meeting. I know it's going to be worth your time for the 4 hours today. For my training group, Jeff, why would I come there? I've got advanced training tonight. I know we got a pizza break and all, but I mean, I could be doing demos. You could be doing appointments right now. Fort Myers, Metro Miami, South Miami, you guys could all be doing appointments right now. I know that. But I promise you, what happens after the event is well worth the time spent. And in fact, here's an example. This is Patience Ellett from Naples. Patience came to this meeting at $1,000 in sales. Nothing hot. In fact, pretty mediocre. She left this meeting, went on to have her $10,000 fast start, so $9,000 in the next 9 days. Okay? This is one of my favorite pictures. This was a group I had for Sldm, and I said, anyone who is not at their first or second promotion, raise your hand. A couple of people raised their hand. So that's under 3,000. And I said, if you're committed to going for a 10K fast start, ready? Come on up and let's take a picture and show me $10,000. And it's funny, all 4 of these guys came up, they put their fingers up, they took the picture, we put it up on the WhatsApp for the whole division to see, and all 4 of them hit $10,000 after this meeting for the fast start. Okay, I think of Casey Geddes from our Fort Lauderdale team. She was here only at $2,000 in sales. She left, ended up hitting her $10,000 fast start. I think of all of you in my training from Saturday who only have sold $1,000 or $2,000. It doesn't matter. That's why you're at this event. And everyone in your training groups were invited, but you're the only ones who made it here. What does that show? It shows initiative. It shows that we're going to help you make a lot of money. So today, this first part of the meeting, there's 3 parts to the meeting, 2 parts. There's the opportunity part. Then we're going to take, then we'll take 2 breaks. And in between, I'm going to give you some high-powered instructions so you can sell more, okay? This next part's the most important, though, because this is the part where I share with you our opportunities. And you know, in Florida United, we have what we call the light bulb culture. So anytime I say something, anytime an opportunity comes up where you say, yeah, I didn't even think about that, or you know what, that's what I'm excited about. Or when I give you some tips today, I promise you, there'll be a lot of light bulbs where you go, oh my gosh, that's what I needed. I want to not just see you write it down. I want to hear and see you give me a light bulb. And if you've been to SC1, what's the light bulb? Show me. Yeah, you go, psh, right? I want to hear it too. To me, that's not rude. To me, it shows you're working hard and you're listening, right? So let's do an example. Let's say 1 + 1 equals 2. Oh my gosh. It does equal to genius, okay? Not just for Cutco tips, but for opportunities. For me, my light bulb was, oh, if I do this, I know it's super different than all my other pre-med friends, but it's going to make me stand out on my resume when I apply. That was my biggest light bulb. Something like that, okay? So let's start off with vector opportunity. I have a sheet here. This is kind of a gift to you. Here's why. I want you to use this as part of your goal sheet. I want you to share your goals with customers. And for some of you, you've learned this already. Let's take one and pass them all the way down. I want you to let customers know which on this sheet are you most excited about in the next couple of months or even years. So this will be something you put into your blue book. You get a plastic sheet from your manager. You can buy them at Walmart. And put this in towards the beginning part of your presentation, and I'll show you how when you talk about your long-term Cutco goals. Okay? So we're going to go through this, and you can actually take notes right onto the sheet. We're not going to read word for word. We don't need to do that. But I'm going to give you a summary. And my goal is for you to get a bunch of light bulbs right now. What can I do with Cutco? How can I take Cutco to the next level? How do I make it so that I'm not just doing Cutco to make money selling knives to people? Okay? Any extras? We'll just pass them up to the front. Oh, thank you. So the first one.
We need more.
Yeah? How many more?
30.
Yeah. Got it. So at the top, I'd like you to write down, it's not even on the sheet. In the top white space at the top, write down the Leadership Academy. Everyone's heard of TLA. Okay? All the opportunities I'm going to share with you right now are part of our Leadership Academy. Leadership Academy is not a physical school or location. It's a program for students while they're in college, full-time during the summer, part-time during the school year, where they're able to gain resume skills, personal skills, and money. And I want you to write these 3 things down. Leadership Academy is where students can get their skills, their experience, and their money. You Just write that up top. Leadership Academy is where they get their skills, their resume experience, and their money. I put down here the best version of yourself. Leadership Academy, here we go, is about becoming the best version of yourself. In fact, we even hashtag that BVOY, best version of yourself. What's the most professional you look like? What's the most financially fit you look like? What's the most physically fit you look like? What's the most professionally dressed you look like? What's the most confident you look like? That's what Leadership Academy is about. And in fact, I would say the number one thing people work towards once they leave this meeting is either sales, but more importantly, how do they get into TLA? And that's a big thing that we talk about in the United Team. So I want to go through the sheet real quick, and I'll have you take notes right onto the sheet, and then you'll slip the sheet right into your blue book. Doesn't matter that you have all this writing on it. In fact, it looks better. Why? How does it look better to the customer when you have all this stuff written in there? It shows that you took notes. Why else?
You're working hard.
That you're working hard, and also shows that you're a real college student, learning and getting education, and it really helps you to connect with the customer. So number one is being here. Okay, and you notice it has a few words on there. You can't advance with the company unless you're asked to join Leadership Academy, or the division manager invites you to join it. So being at this meeting is the most important thing. Now, the advantage if you're in my office is that you see me all the time, so I know you. But the disadvantage is actually worse because there's so many people in our office in the next couple of weeks, it's easy to get lost in the crowd. So there's one thing that's going to help you stand out, and that's your personal sales. Okay. So congratulations on being here. In fact, there were people that weren't invited, even though they might have sold more than you. Attitude is number one, and you're here because of that. So nice job. Number two, key staff. So key staff, these would be the leaders of our training programs. These are the leaders of the office. Think of this as team captains. Think of this as section leaders. Think of this as class presidents and student government, if you will. These are the people that get the most opportunity. If you want to advance with Cutco, get onto key staff right away. Let me give you the requirements in the United Team. Number one, you have to be over 2 promotions at least to show that you can do the job decently. Because if you're not at $3,000 yet, this just means there's some adjustments of basics, or you probably haven't done enough what? Appointments in my office. How many appointments do you have to get to before we can even fix you?
10.
Yeah, and until someone's at 10 appointments, we don't even know what's good or what's bad yet. In fact, I can see 2 people right now who I trained from two weeks ago. Until you got to 10 appointments, we didn't even know what to do. And look at you guys now. 8,000 and I think 6,000 plus.
7.8.
7 for, there you go. Basically $8,000. Nice job. Nice job. Okay. I want you to write down next to key staff. Write down next 10 days. Not only do you have to be at 3,000, you have to have a positive attitude, and more importantly, you have to ask your manager. Luke, for example, Andrew, John Heisman, Karina, Orlando is not going to ask you if you want to be on key staff. We're looking for proactive people. So a little hint: when you leave today from my office, go text Luke before you leave. Hey, I'm leaving right now to an appointment, or I'm going to go get food before we come back for advanced training. I want to talk to you about getting on the key staff. If you leave this office and you're driving back to your office, before you leave, text about key staff, and we'll talk about that. Next 10 days. Number 2 is 30, 30 and beyond. This is my favorite financially for all of you. I say this in training all the time. It's the goal to make a ton of money off of your friends and family.
Yep.
Is that the goal of the job? No. Does it happen? Yes. Right? And if that's the goal of the job, you're not going to sell a lot because people know you're just a manipulator or smart ass. Right? No, the goal is not to go and say, oh, Aunt Abby, I'm going to try to make as much money off of her. And when she recommends me to the church, oh yeah, game on, money time. If you think like that, you know what you are? You're a stereotypical sleazy salesperson. That's not what we do here. And everyone knows that here. That's not our product line. But I don't want to hide the fact that you can make some serious cash here, some serious money. And I want to throw up the higher percentages, because until you get to Dirty 30, you've made up to $2,000 when you get to Dirty 30. I think that's pretty solid, pretty good money for a high school graduate and someone who's in college first, second, or third year. I think it's good, okay, for a summer. But once you get to Dirty 30, I was just saying to Noah, okay, and then for the 2 of you, once you say your next set, you'll be at Dirty 30. It's a different paycheck world. It's where your paychecks start to have commas for the week, okay? I saw a picture from the group. Kate, what was your last paycheck? $700. That's under Dirty 30, and that was for 7 days worth of work, okay? I just want to share this with you. In fact, in a second, I'm going to have you take a picture so you have it. $1,000 a week is just doing the job. It's not special, and it'll make you between $2,000 and $5,000 in the summer if you do that. It's not special, but you can do it super, super part-time. In fact, how many appointments does it take to sell a grand? One appointment, 1 homemaker or more, okay? Or 3 on 3 average orders if you want to do it like that. 2 or 3 is pretty average. If you do $2,000 to $3,000, it's either 2 to 3 sets, or it's about 3 to 6 average orders. You can do that probably on 12 appointments, which is working 4 days a week, 2 appointments a day, and taking the whole weekend off. That's pretty reasonable, wouldn't you agree? And to us, that's full time, by the way. It's pretty cool. So $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000. But when you get to 30-30, and then the percentages get higher, not to mention if you get into Leadership Academy, if you run your own Cutco office for an internship, 1 or 2 or 3 summers, your office total sales will hit your career sales, which helps you get higher. So for example, Luke is at 50% because he ran a Cutco branch office that sold it for $200,000. Plus his personal sales are over 40,000. So he's now at about 200,000, but he makes half on commission. And I just want to put this in perspective. Let's say we're just using the middle one here. You're selling $2,000 a week. At 30-30, you're making between $600 all the way up to $1,000 a week. And I can't tell you how exciting that kind of money is for a college student, for high school graduate. I want to show you an example here. If you're from my office, you've seen this. What if you're able to work part-time during the school year? You can just do 5 appointments before the weekend. You can do that in evenings. I always talk about Luke, who does it from his dorm room virtually. You can do it live. You can do it virtually. It doesn't really matter. 5 appointments. How many sales is that? Roughly 2 or 3. The average order is 300 up to 500. You're talking essentially $1,000 to $1,500. And if you make half of that, or 30%, that's 300 up to $750. Who would be okay with that for 5 hours worth of work a week? And ready? You tell me how hard it is to get your studying going on then. It's easier. You tell me about your grades then. You tell me about your social life. I love social life. I think college is that's part of college, to have fun. But see, a lot of times people forget that to have fun, sometimes you need money. Or sometimes to pay for school, you need money. Or sometimes to do the things you want to do or help the people you want to help, you need money. What's really cool is you have a platform here to make the money you want to make. So for 30-30, here's what I would write down. I would write down this summer, you got to at least get to 30-30. You have to at least get to 30-30. I would say the worst people in our pilot office in Fort Lauderdale will get to about 30-30. They'll make $2,000 to $3,000 for the summer before school starts, and they'll be able to work part-time or earn full-time. Or in my office, we say this: you can keep working full-time, and what do you earn then? You earn big-time money. That's 5-figure club. We have several students right now, one of which is Mila Amy in our office. She's from St. Thomas Aquinas High School, goes to UF, and she will probably earn in excess of $12,000 to $20,000 this summer. And that can be you too. Okay. Any light bulbs on that one? Yeah, excited? Yeah, I hope so. Assistant manager. Okay. Assistant manager. Assistant managers are individuals who are paid if they've gone through TLA, or they're an intern where they're just working 1 to 2 hours a week to get experience. Assistant manager interns have management experience. They get their foot in the door for a paid position, and they're the first people who are selected for a paid position. So for example, we just promoted 21 assistant manager interns last week at Summer Conference 1. Next week, we have a division meeting here in Plantation, actually over in Sunrise by the Sawgrass Mall. And it's going to be the entire Florida United team in Florida, at least in Florida. They're going to come over to us this time instead of us going over there. And what's really cool is we're going to promote another 20 to 30 assistant manager interns. If you're interested, we're going to do another, I would say 30 to 50. We're going to promote another 30 to 50 people on Tuesday. If you feel like, hey, Jeff, I want some management experience, I wouldn't mind carving out 1 to 2 hours a week to get my resume a lot better. Or, hey, I'm local, or while I'm at school at UF, FSU, UCF, or whatever school I'm going to, or here, I wouldn't mind getting involved in the office and being paid as an assistant. I know from my office, how many of you are either going into your senior year here in the Fort Lauderdale area, or you're local, FAU, Broward? Okay. I've got 6 positions I need to fill for the fall, and they're paid positions. So if someone's interested, this would be a good start to earn some of those positions, okay? I would write down, if you're interested, by the conference next week. Any light bulbs on that one? Yeah? Branch manager, this is my favorite. In fact, this is our most coveted position that students can earn through Leadership Academy. Okay? Branch manager position is Cutco's premier opportunity. It's where a college student for 4 months after being trained will open up their own 4-month Cutco operation, essentially start a business from scratch. And they do all of the negotiating. They negotiate a lease. They work out rent for their office. They hire a receptionist team. They create an active advertising strategy. They implement recruiting strategies. They hire, they train, they develop their own reps, and they're all usually under 22 years old. And then they close up their office at the end of the summer, profit within 3 months, 4 months, and then they go back to school. How do you think that looks in a resume?
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's the light bulb, by the way. Okay. We have an acronym for that, and no one's too young. If someone's brand new and they're at this meeting, 1 year from now, our best people can run their own office. In fact, last year, Francisco Duran from Puerto Rico, who was 18 years old, had just graduated high school, went through the Leadership Academy, and this summer, 1 year later, is now running all of Ponce, Puerto Rico. It's the third largest town in Puerto Rico, and he's currently one of the top 10 branch managers in the whole company. And he's only 19 years old, just started last year. So if you're into business or being the boss, here are the reasons why people like shooting for branch. We have an acronym called Taking the Leap. So when you branch and you earn that internship, some people do it a couple of times through college. The L in LEAP stands for the leadership opportunities. If you enjoy, whether it's being the boss or teaching or coaching, if you enjoy mentoring, if you enjoy being the person responsible for blank success, if you're used to sports and being the captain, so to speak, this is our ultimate leadership opportunity at a young age to run a business that you start and lead reps. Okay, and I'll show you a couple of pictures here. Experience. The E in LEAP stands for the experience you get on your resume. I just listed off the really cool things that you can put on your resume. It doesn't include all the personal skill sets that you're able to list. I have students that will run a branch office, and by 20 years old, they've already run more interviews themselves to run than the people they're going to interview with for their professional career. Put that in perspective. For example, when I graduated from college and I applied to med schools, I was more confident, at least I thought, I was more confident as a recruiter, as an interviewer, than the medical school acceptance interviewing people doing the interview process. And I took a lot of confidence from that from my time through college. A stands for adventure, okay? Adventure. Some of our students don't just want to branch, they want to branch and they want to move to a different state or to a different country. Puerto Rico, learn Spanish. Some of them want to do immersion into the Puerto Rico culture and learn how to run an international business because their major is international business. Some people want to move to a different part of Florida or move out of Florida because they're just trying to get a new experience and learn to work with different types of people. That's why a lot of people love the adventure part. And the part that I think most of our Florida United team loves is the personal growth. When they're able to run an office, run a business, gain skills, and become a better version of themselves, a more professional version. I love when I go to meetings. I love when I go out. I love when Cutco students who've been a branch manager will go with me. And all of my friends, I'm 39 years old, okay? This is
Look
where
like
you,
you're 20.
there you go. This is where you say what?
No.
No way, okay. I'm actually 50, but I'm Asian, so you know. This is where the personal growth comes in. I'll bring Luke out, and besides Luke's tall stature, people think Luke is closer to my age or just 30 years old and a business entrepreneur. Luke just turned 21. And I love that because all of our representatives have developed so much, and he's still got 2 more years of Cutco through college. Really exciting to see. I would put down Cutco is our premier opportunity, and I would put down next to this, next summer, question mark, you never know. Next summer, you never know. Our best people will get a chance to run a branch office next year. Our go-getters, the ones who don't want to wait, will work hard, and 1 year from now, after getting into TLA, we'll run a branch office. Speaking of Luke, so this is me visiting. I did a little secret visit to Luke's office. He ran all of Boca Raton, Florida last year. So those are the Terry and who else is from? Alec, are you from Boca Raton? But you're originally from the Boca Raton area?
That's where I live.
Okay, yeah. So Luke ran all of the territory there. So anything Cutco related was run by that 20-year-old Luke Maseko. Okay, this is him at his team meetings. If you take a look, those are the reps that he trained at 20 years old. He developed, he interviewed. There's him. This is my favorite picture because it's got his name on the door. Right, 20 years old. He was negotiating an office lease with the owner of the building, and he was the same age as the owner's son.
Wow.
Think about that, right? 20 years old saying, oh, thank you, Mr. I forget his name. I'd like to go ahead and I'll accept the deal. I would love to rent your office out in the very expensive Boca area, by the way, for 4 months. Yeah, let's do it. And he said, I have a son your age. And he just sat quiet and looked at Luke. Because I have a son your age. Right? And then you try to get his son to work too. It's really cool. And then this is Luke and I experiencing beer. Okay, cool. Whoa. Branch manager. It's out there for you. And I don't want you to limit yourself. Not everyone runs a branch office, but people who really want to separate their resume. And this was on Facebook a couple of years ago about branching, about someone who's 19, 20, 21 running an office. And to me, this was a light bulb when I decided to run a branch office back in 1999. I ran an office about an hour from my house. And it says, what's better, working for 30, 40, 50 years to make six figures? Because that's really the American track, isn't it? You graduate from college, you get a career, and if you keep working hard long enough at the same place, you'll eventually make six figures. That seems to be the number. Or you work 90 days, which is roughly a summer, to a year, which is a full year of TLA, to gain a skill that helps you be more marketable and make more money in the future. I think the answer is clear, but I think that's why people love running a branch office. This year we have about 300, I believe, branch offices in the entire country. We have about 15 of them in the Florida United team, and of the 350 or 400, I think we have 3 of the top 50 in the entire country just from the Florida United team. Okay. Last 3 things I think you should know: that Luke's job is available. I think you should know that if you're from my office. Luke is the #1 college student in all of Leadership Academy. Luke is the #1 most recruited student in the entire Eastern region. Luke is only a rising junior this year, and I can tell you that he's already going to have more job offers when he graduates from college now, and he still has another 2 summers with us. I would put down this is the #1 candidate in all of the division. That's Luke. There's next level training that he's getting, and Luke knows this. Okay, when you're a 5-star recruit, all these colleges want you, all these med schools want you, all these businesses want you. But if you're that good of a recruit, who else wants you to stay? Vector and Cutco. So Luke already knows that we're recruiting him to be a district manager. And what's really cool, I don't think there's really much of a hesitation because he's really good at it. And that's what happens when you're the pilot sales manager. Think of this as the ultimate apprenticeship. I would put down next to this one, question mark. You know what I love about this meeting? My future PSM is in this room, or one of these past meetings this year, and we don't even know it. We don't even know it. The future PSM, the future superstar of Florida United, might be in this room. That's really cool to think about. Okay. Any light bulbs? Yes. Okay. And my favorite light bulb is I call it the Cutco through college light bulb. This is my favorite light bulb. It's the light bulb that says, this is what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do after college. I don't know if I want to be a doctor or lawyer. I might change my major 3 times. I have a student that just changed their major for the 3rd time. Happens. They wanted to be a doctor and they realized they were doing it for the wrong reasons. Then they went into business and they hated it. And now they're doing something else, which I think is going to be up her alley. Okay. I don't know what happens after college, but my favorite light bulb is when you say, until I get to that point, this is where I get my skills. This is where I'm going to build my resume. And this is where I'm going to make my money through college. And if that light bulb's for you, I'm really excited to help support you, because I would find that most students who do Cutco through college have an outstanding track, and they don't use us as a platform for their future. They use us as a rocket ship, a springboard. And they're the ones that get the most jobs. And they're the ones that say, Jeff, I did Cutco through college and I got into blank med school. I just got 4 calls this week. My favorite calls. They're the post-TLA alumni graduates from college telling me about these sick job offers, these amazing places they're working, and they keep blaming me. It's really cool to hear. They keep blaming Cutco. They keep blaming Cutco through college. So Cutco through college, this is what I would say is a really ideal track. Not everyone goes through this track, but the people who extract the most experience, the most resume, and the most money from us through college usually do it like this. So if they're in a meeting like this is your first summer, what they'll do is they'll work really hard and earn a spot into Leadership Academy, into TLA. Because that sets it all off. The Leadership Academy is the training. The Leadership Academy is the exposure to skills. Then they'll come back next summer after TLA, and they'll ideally, on the highest end, if they're the top people, they'll learn and run a branch office as an internship. And what's great about that is that they're learning to build a business from scratch. All the things I talked about with Luke. And then what they'll do is they'll go through Leadership Part 2. They'll go to Leadership Academy, and they go as a senior. If you've ever been to summer camp, you'll go to the camp, and then what happens when you go the second time? You're not just a camp member. What are you? You're a leader or a counselor. Okay. Here we call those mentors. And people will go through a second time of TLA, maybe before their sophomore or junior year. And what they'll do is they'll come back the next summer, and they'll either branch again. Anyone guess why they would want to do it a second time? Even though they got the experience the first time, why would someone want to run the same business a second time? Any guesses? Either because it works well. Go ahead. Yeah, ready? To not just build a business, but to show that they're able to grow. That's really cool. Okay. Or, thank you, sir. Or they come back, and after running a branch and going through TLA, they decide to become what's called a full-time seller, or we have an abbreviation, a Cutco sales professional. What they'll do is they'll sell Cutco full-time. around college, full-time during the summer, and they'll work weekends only during college. That's Taylor Max Ricart. He went to SC1, and Taylor Max was making $40,000 to $50,000 working weekends only while taking 16 credits a semester. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I know some adults that don't make that working full-time. So, and then beyond, if they want a career position with us, they have that, or they take their 5-star recruit resume experience and they go get those jobs they want. Okay. So again, the goal is, can we create a 5-star opportunity for you to be a 5-star recruit? And these are the hashtags. When you start to text me, which I'll show you later on how and why, these are the hashtags I like to throw up. Number 1, because you're part of the great united team. Number 2, we want this for you when you graduate college. Okay. Number 3, we love light bulb moments. And those moments that, whether it's a meeting, this meeting, other meetings, that get you excited and things to think about. Cutco through college. And notice, I didn't put down next year, which is 2018. When did they put?
19.
Yeah, 2018 is going to be outstanding. 2019, we're going to dominate the company. Our goal, my personal mission, is that our Leadership Academy program becomes the model for vector marketing of how to run a high-powered, high-income earning, high resume building, high fun level, high respect level Leadership Academy program. We want the best of the best students to come from our Leadership Academy, and that's something we're excited about. Okay. And then last thing, you can light bulb. Any light bulbs so far? Yeah. Last thing before we go to break, I want to talk to you because I think it's really important. If you're going to be working hard with a company, you should also know what the post-college opportunities are. Because if you're that much of a 5-star recruit and we want to recruit you here, you should know what's available past college. First one is Cutco Sales Professional. We call that CSP for short. And think of this as an independent selling opportunity. Okay. Now, some of our CSPs are actually still full-time students. They've been through TLA 1 or 2 times. And what they do is they do full-time sales around school, part-time sales around school. Some people, it's a career. If you met Andy Janti at SC1, he does this as a career. He's not a student. And they also have the opportunities to do what we call fair and show and realtor programs. So think of it this way. If you have family or friends or parents that are real estate agents, financial advisors, or interior designers or decorators, very similar because those are independent businesses. Okay, who do they work for? Yeah, themselves, and they network a huge business. Sometimes they go in a group. It's the same exact thing here. Okay, I would put that question mark because you never know. Some students go CSP through college because they just really want the financial opportunity, and they're not really into managing people. So they'll go through TLA a couple times, get the skills, and they start doing that. That's fine too. Here's some cool things to show too. This is our Cutco Sales Professional team. This is our Fair and Show booth. This is at the Miami Home and Garden Show, and there's another one at Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. This is after from Broward County. This is Galleria Mall. Okay, so we're on the 2nd floor, right outside the big department store. We have a Cutco booth. Our Cutco sales professionals during the holidays will sit there, and the sales just come in. So it's holidays. How cool is that? That's one of the cool things they get to do. And then, of course, from the management side, we have some people that after college, after TLA or Cutco through college, they might decide to do Cutco even beyond college, either for a couple of years or for a career. So I want to share with you, being a district manager is what we call a year-round career manager. If you're from Orlando Bierstein's office, he is a new district manager. He just started. He's actually #1 in the whole company right now. If you're coming from Karina's office, Karina graduated from FIU with a degree in physical therapy, went out there and decided that she enjoyed doing this more than physical therapy and took her skills and is now running her 5th summer as a Cutco district manager year-round. Okay, it's either a career position or if you're familiar with an MBA, why do people go get a master's of business or an MBA after college? What does it help them do later?
Get a better job.
Yeah, get a better job after. So some people will do Cutco district manager for 2-3 years to show real life MBA versus school MBA. And then some people just love the growth and they really enjoy it. I would say our district managers are really, 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 really high paid teachers. That's how it works. Unfortunately, I think teachers aren't paid enough. That's what I think. But our district managers get a chance to teach, and all we do is work with young people. So part of why I look 20. 27, 20, okay. Part of why I look younger, I would say, than most of the people my age is because this is who I work with. It's really cool to be exposed always around young people. So I would put here question mark because you never know. This is a picture of our district manager team. There's me teaching. You gotta love the opportunity. Last thing before we go to break, I'm looking for A players. A players are people that stand out from the crowd. A players are people that I don't think we want them in Leadership Academy. These are the people that I want in Leadership Academy. These are the people that I know are high performers. They stand out. They get the most opportunities. These are the AP students. These are the Honor Society students. These are the team captains. These are the All-State All-Americans. These are the graduating with honors. These are A players. And if that's you, if you're a go-getter and you want more opportunity and you're competitive and you want to be on my radar more, then I encourage you to make a statement, because A players will get more attention from me. And how do you get my attention? You got to get on my radar. Okay? I'm going to give you my cell phone today. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you my cell phone number, not my cell phone. Okay? This is my cell phone. Sorry. I'm going to give you my phone number. And in business, you guys know this. It's not what you know.
It's who you know.
It's who you know. You now know and have the direct act. This isn't my office. I'm giving you my personal cell phone number so you can text me updates and put your ranking up in our divisional scale. I want to know what's going on. I want to know when you're selling more. I want to know when you're leaving. And some of you, how many of you have already texted me before? Okay, you guys already have an advantage. That's pretty cool. But I want to give you my number so that you can move on to the opportunities. Because here's what happens. Nothing on the sheet I just covered is available unless I know you. Okay? And if you're from my office, this is my plea. I'm not going to be here a lot in about 2 weeks. So you got to get, don't worry, I'll come back.
Better come back.
Abby's my favorite now. Abby goes, okay. You'll see me, but not the same way. I won't be here every morning in my gym clothes like I am normally. I'll be traveling to their office and their office and their office and Caribbean. Tough life, right? I have to go to Puerto Rico. Tough life. Okay? So I got to go there and eat the great food and visit all of you down there, by the way. So the more you're on my radar now, the better. The more you're texting me now. Don't assume just because you see me. And everywhere else, keep that texting. If your manager gave you my number before this meeting, they're looking out for you. They're trying to get you on my radar before you meet me. So say thank you. Any light bulbs? Okay. Do me a favor. Go through your notes. And I'd love to hear, we're going to go to a full 15-minute break. I would love to hear, what are the new light bulbs? What are you excited to do with Cutco? What is either specific opportunities? Is it Cutco through college? Or did you get I had a specific light bulb at this meeting in 1997 of, no, specifically as a pre-med major, this is how it's exactly going to help me when I want to apply to med schools 4 years from now. Okay, so hands up, I'll just call on a couple of you. Give me some light bulbs. What's either clearer for you? What are the big light bulbs that come up? Positions, things you want to do? Let's hear them. We'll go. And give your name and office when you say it.
My name's Sean Detwiller from the Fort Myers office.
Okay.
And big one was being able to start running the office by next year.
Okay, yeah, so the ability to get that internship within a year. Yeah, you don't have to be here for 4 years before you get that internship. Oh, by the way, the internship's fully paid. You get paid as a full manager with us. So Luke made $21,000 last summer. Notice I didn't say that's why he did it, right? Because if you really want to make a lot of money, what do you do here? You sell full-time. Yeah, you sell full-time. But if you want the opportunity to make a lot of money, but you impact people and you manage a team, you get that experience, Sean, that's Branch. Go ahead. And it's Skylar Cooley
Yes.
from?
My name is Skylar from Naples, and I definitely want to branch.
Yeah?
Within the next year.
I love it. Good. Lewis,
Luis Cordova. I'm from this office, cloud sales, and I'm gonna take Luke's job.
you're going to take Luke's job. Tell him that. Yeah. Cool. Other light bulbs of how you can take this opportunity? What's new for you, Noah?
I want to more from Metro Miami. I want to be running a branch office before I start college.
Cool. So get that under your belt. How about on this side? What are some light bulbs? Go ahead. It's Kate.
I'm Kate from Fort Lauderdale, and I want to be branch.
Want to be a branch? A lot of branch managers. Go ahead.
I'm Julio from the Fort Myers office, and I was looking at the branch manager because I'm actually still in high school and be a senior,
Cool.
and I want to do international business.
Put you in Puerto Rico. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Go ahead.
Baltimore from the South Miami office, Karina.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest things for me was when he said the real estate. He was 20 years old. He was already speaking about leasing an office.
Yeah.
So I want to get into real estate in
Cool.
the future. So use this as a launch pad.
That's cool. We have a lot of go-getters, but how about this? How many of you, your light bulb wasn't necessarily to run that internship? Maybe it'd be cool, but you're more so excited just to get into Leadership Academy. Okay. Because really, I want to put pressure. People who get into TLA don't have to run a branch office. That's the peak performers. But everyone gets a lot of benefit from Leadership Academy. If you wrote down Leadership Academy as one of your light bulbs, I'd like to hear why. So, Rachel, if you're good, Skylar.
Me personally, I like the key staff aspect of it too. And just the experience from what not only you're saying, but what my office manager has also said about it.
Good. Okay. Anyone else where you see why Leadership Academy TLA could help you personally? Go ahead.
I want to gain all the skills possible in my future and also learn from the best.
Okay, good. So be in the program where you're learning from mentors and the best people. But Lewis,
So my future goal in life is to create my own business, and I feel like this would be a great opportunity to gather experience, and
yeah,
it's a great stepping stone for that.
I agree.
And I also want to find the people that are going to push me to that next level. And I
Yeah,
feel like I'll find those people.
that's a little bit more advanced. But one of the things we'll tell you is that circles of influence are really important. And your managers know this. This is how I operate. They say it's not what you know, it's
Who you know.
yeah. But if you hang out with the wrong people, that's bad too.
Yeah.
Right. If you hang out with, they say this. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So if your 5 friends are broke, guess what? You're usually broke too. If your 5 friends are go-getters and respectful,
You're a good guy.
yeah, same thing. I'm really happy to say that if I take the 5, one of them is my fiance. Okay, she's awesome. If you haven't met Heidi, you will. She's awesome. She's better than me. I think I'm pretty cool. Okay, like that. Number 2 are my business mentors. Number 3 is my faith mentor. Number 4 is my personal mentor. And number 5 fluctuates between Luke and other people that I work with that are direct mentees of mine. And I'm glad to say those 5 people average out to really, I think, a really respectful, energy, purpose-driven division managers. What I think. So find good people around. That's a TLA lesson. We actually spend a whole day on crafting circles of influence. If you get into Leadership Academy, we do a whole exercise, and you leave there going, okay, no more with you. I got to talk to you more, and I got to figure out how to talk to him. And those are the things that we'll teach you how to do, and how to do it, how to network, not just to say it. Okay. Other things on leadership. We're almost to the break. If Leadership Academy is something you wrote down, how does it help you? Why does it help you? Why be excited about Leadership Academy? Abraham.
It helps me stay in blue economies program.
There you go. Keeps you focused. There you go. What else?
It's just stepping stone that I need to become the most sought after student.
Yeah, 5-star. Did anyone write down be a 5-star college graduate? That's important. Okay. One more. Miss Taylor.
Want to get into med schools.
There you go. You know what kind of doctor yet? Thought about it?
I don't know.
I'll introduce you to Heidi. She'll talk to you about it. She loves talking about it. Cool. All right. Awesome work. What a great group. Let's do this. It's now 1:25. Let's take a 10-minute break. Start at 1:35. After this now, here's what I'm going to cover. I just covered all the cool things you can get by doing Cutco and Cutco through college and Leadership Academy. Now, I'm going to teach you how to sell a lot so you get on my radar, make a lot of money, and you can earn this stuff. Okay? Restroom is down the hall to the right. I would say during the break, meet 2 to 3 more people, name, school, major, where they're from. And we have tons of snacks, cookies, chips, and water for sale. Everything's $1. Just grab a bag or ask for water. Come see me. We're good to go. All right, let's take 10. Thanks, everybody. Virtual, we're on break here. Stop by action.
Yeah, I know.
So let's get rolling here. Is anyone familiar with the Jamaica contest? That's a sarcastic question. You guys know what the Jamaica contest, okay? I think your managers are probably just talking about it every other opportunity they can. Here's what's important about the Jamaica contest, okay? We want to help spark interest, and some of you have submitted lists, some of you have called friends from your phone, but what's really cool, this coming week, there's double credit. You guys know tomorrow, if anyone comes in tomorrow for the training, and they finish training, they sell $1,000, you're going to get a double credit for the 8 to go to Jamaica. Not to mention, the more people you bring onto the team, it helps our team. Not to mention, the more people you bring to the team, it also helps you get on my radar, all that. So one of the things in Fort Lauderdale, you guys know, you know what this is. I want to show you something. We call it triple threat. If you're from my office, explain who knows triple threat. Kate, what's triple threat?
You use the 3 different social medias of Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, and you basically post it, and whoever like talks to you about it, you don't say anything, you just screenshot it.
And you give it to who?
Your manager.
You give it to your manager. Okay, so I want to help everyone here get to Jamaica easier. Okay, so first of all, sometimes, depending on your friends, money is what gets people at least interested, right? For example, Kate put a picture up, and this is a cool picture. This was Kate and our top paychecks for the week. Okay, so it's pretty hard to argue when someone has an $1,800, $1,400, $1,100, $1,800, $1,600. The lowest one was Rachel Gutman at $514. That was considered a low check. Pretty cool, right? So Kate, you took a picture of this, right? Okay, she put on her Snap, put on everything, and she got responses. I think she's got how many friends coming from that? I want to, yeah. I mean, you're gonna hit Jamaica, by the way. I'm pretty confident you do it right. Okay. For some people, it's just not going into the money, but doing it vague. So I'm gonna give you. You can choose. I'll give you 30 seconds for this one, or you can just use our. They don't need to know this is our office. I want you to grab your cell phones, and we're gonna triple threat. Triple threat means Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook. And all I want you to do, if you want to do the money one, that's fine. Or if you want to do the one that's more general, like promoting the company and the experience, this is, grow your mind, light bulb. You can make money here, teamwork, 5-star recruit. I think what sometimes people see, oh, the #1 student company in the country. I think that can get people in. So the only thing you put, who can tell me what you post when you write down?
My job has openings. It starts at $15. And then for details.
Yeah, my job has openings. $15. HMU. There's no HMU. Hit me up. HMU for details. I'm learning. Okay. So real quick, I'll give you 30 seconds. If you want to use this one, you can pull your cell phones out. You can actually just walk right up if you want.
Can I do it?
Can you document this, please? What's that?
Can I do it tonight during the team meeting?
If you're in our office, I would do it now and let it ride through the team meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Call them during team meeting.
Yeah, we'll call them during the team meeting. Okay, so I'll give you 30 seconds. If you want to do this one, I'll let you take a picture of this one first.
I'll take a picture of my chair.
Yeah.
Right, and so I want all of you to experience what Kate experienced, which was easy credits for Jamaica. Okay, document. Anyone else that wants to use this one, and the rest probably want to use the money one. That's fine. Okay. You can come up closer. You want to come with me? You guys can come closer. You can walk up. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Who wants the money one? Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you have broke friends, makes sense, doesn't it? What? Already? Who can tell me what not to say to your friends? Oh, you'll make all this money. Don't make it sound shady. Right, that's weird because there's so many shady things on the internet. Don't make this sound shady when it doesn't need to be. And don't try to explain it. Got it? Okay. And then I'll put this one up. So I'll move it. You can just say these are some of the paychecks for the week if you work hard. If you want to put that. But my job has openings. $15.
You can go up, take pictures.
Yeah, you can go close.
Your paycheck's gonna be nice tonight too. You're gonna have a good paycheck tonight. Yes, today. posted like 3 of the pictures of that. Jeff, are you gonna be here for tonight's team meeting?
Not for tonight. Coming up soon.
How long are you gone for until you come back?
I'll be here. Well, I'll be here during the push.
Okay.
I'm doing the coaching,
Oh, cool.
but
Awesome.
I won't be here for team meetings, and I won't be here. Normally, I run trainings. So, picture of yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So, my job has openings. $15. Who moved for deets? See what I did there? No.
Yeah.
Hello? Who moved for deets?
Your
No.
head, Jeff. Your head.
Am I getting it?
Yeah, you're close. You can hang with me now.
I'm like the uncle. We're like, Uncle Joe, come on.
Yeah, hungry.
Who created this?
I didn't eat anything. I just drank those.
Cut out.
Yeah.
Hold on a picture.
I need more boys. I'll be up there.
Okay. So when you post it, remember, don't respond. Just screenshot it. If you need the number, say, hey, give me your number, and I'll get you details. Okay. And don't respond. Don't explain. Just send it to your manager. Hey, I got some. And Luke, can you let United know what we just did?
I already got one.
You already got one. You're welcome.
It's like fishing, throwing bait. And
Okay, I'm gonna roll. Ready? This is why this next part is. You got to do that first, guy. Technology makes it really easy for you to win prizes here. It's really cool. Okay.
101.
My job has openings, $15. Hit me up for details.
That sounds really good. I hate
These are weekly paychecks. If you're interested, hit me up. I find that the more general you are, and the less overexcited you are, the more people are willing to at least check it out. That's what I find. Okay, and your managers will get these tonight. We'll call them. We'll try to get them in for the interview for you.
It's like you said, like if you don't explain it, they're curious and they're interested, so they just want to come in and find out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I want to skip through here. Here's why financially I think this is really important. Okay.
Whoa.
Oh well. We good. Because if you don't do Cutco financial, I want to talk finances for a second. If you left, you're going to be stuck with the $8 an hour job. That's all that's left. You guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And take out the taxes. It's $190 a week. Okay. And how fast can you hit a promotion there? Like in one weekend with us?
No.
No. Sarcasm inserted. How long does it take to get a promotion at an $8 an hour job?
Oh, wow.
6 months to a year. That's it. You got have you worked them? No. Okay. So you know that. Mostly 6 months. And usually it's a year. And you get a whole $5-6 raise.
A few cents.
Few cents. Yeah. So let's say it's 850. It's 6 months. You make $850. So this is you increase from 190 to 205, and after 6 months. And let's say you're killing it. Sarcasm right here. 1 year later, you're making a whole $1 more. More sarcasm.
Whoa.
Okay. 220. And ready? I'm not making these numbers up. Raise your hand if you have friends doing this. Raise your hand if you did this. I did this in college or high school.
It was
I
worse.
did, yeah, cutting grass. This was me cutting grass. Okay. 1 year growth opportunity is $30. Your 2 year growth opportunity, you are killing it. You're on key staff at the grass cutting company, the landscaping company. I can say that 'cause that's what I did. You're killing. I'm on key staff at landscaping. Now making $10 after 2 whole years, and my growth opportunity is $60. Please tell me you see how bad this is.
It's awful.
Okay. If you leave Cutco, and here's my thing: if you're under $3,000, if you haven't already thought about quitting, you probably haven't done the job right. Because if you're under 3, you're like, oh, I don't know. Well, my one friend's making money here because you've made $400 at most if you're under 3,000. Once you get to 6,000, you've made $1,000. That starts to change. Once you get to dirty 30, you've made $2,000, and now you can work part time and make full time. Game changer. So that's my point. Hang in there. Hang in there. And remember, how many appointments? How many of you have not even done 10 appointments total yet? And you have nothing to say to me.
10 push-ups.
10 push-ups. You have nothing to say yet because we don't even know. Well, like Abby, did you raise your hand? Yeah. I don't even know. Okay, Abby, you should work on. You know what? You need to. We don't know yet. Get to 10 appointments with Mac customers. And what's really funny is usually after 10 appointments, you're already between 1,000 and 3,000 in sales order. Okay. So I'm just sharing this with you. You could do that, or you can do what I just showed you. Even here. So I want to talk to you, and within 1 week, by the way. It is not uncommon. Raise your hand if you're under 1,000 here. Anyone under 1,000? Oh, awesome. You guys will be great. This meeting, now you don't have appointments tonight, but your next appointment could be your next promotion. How many of you are between 1 and 3,000? Okay. I don't see why you couldn't be at 6,000 or pull off a Casey Geddes or Malcolm Ali or Giovanni Pastrana, who left this meeting. They were at $2,000 or $3,000 and they hit 10K fast start. Happens all the time after this meeting. Okay. I want to give you confidence. So let me give you some skills here. So new sheet of paper.
Did that say advanced recommendation?
Advanced recommendations. Let's talk about recommendations. How come I'm starting with recommendations and not selling?
Because that's how you're going to get your customers.
Yeah. Why is it more important? Kurt, why is it more important?
You can't sell it.
You can't sell if you have no customers. Okay. So here's what I want to share with you, a couple of thoughts, and I think this will really help you out. Number one, I want you to write down the question at the top, advanced recommendations. I want you to write down, how badly do I want them? And put a big question mark. Okay. How badly do I want them? Okay. That's my question too. Do you want recommendations? So the mentality is the most important thing to start with. Do you want recommendations as badly as you want a sale? Maybe. If I told you 10 really good recommendations, what's that called, by the way, when you get 10?
Sponsors.
Yeah. What if I give you 10 really good sponsors of moms that are over 30 that own a home in a nice neighborhood, a neighborhood you want to be in? Okay. 10 of those or a $300 average order. Which one do you take? You have the big ones. Yeah. 10, a sponsor or a homemaker.
Sponsor.
Yeah. But the higher the CPO gets, it's harder to say sponsor, isn't it? What if I told you a signature, nothing for free?
Sponsor.
And you say sponsor, I say sponsor, but then if you deep down go, do I really think that? I kind of want that signature. It's looking kind of nice, especially if you're under 3,000 right now. You're going, that's my next promotion. What's the real answer? You should have your cake and eat it too. What does that mean? You should get both. Okay. So let me give you some thoughts on how to get lots of recommendations and get lots of sales. This is really important. So the first thing, how badly do I want them? You should want both. First thing, I always find that financially it's good to motivate. When you get a recommendation, one single name, the math shows you make about $15 to $50 cash in income for every name that you get. Not every sponsor, every single name. So what if I told you there was a machine at the front of my office or your office? I just came from the Fort Myers office last week, okay? Let's say when you walk in, there's a machine that looks like an ATM machine, and you put in your recommendation sheets, and every name that you get, it spits out a $20 bill. So if you spit in a sponsors, 10, you get $200 cash. Right? Wouldn't you grab that fast?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you put more names in the machine?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you wait and get a little bit more patient and work to get more names? Even if it was 3 or 4 more names, would it be worth your time?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, people don't think like that when they're new. They think, I make money when I sell. You make money when you get names. So write that down. I make money with names too. Any light bulbs? Yeah. I make money with every name that I get. Okay. Some of you aren't writing it down. Like, trust me, I ask that you encourage you to be engaged. Okay. So I make money with every recommendation that I get. I put up to 50 because the higher you are in commission, the more the names are worth to you. Okay, so I'm going to show you today, it's worth it to get those extra 3. It's worth it to, once you've got 10, to try and get another 10. And I'm going to show you that today. Another thing, write down, do I really, underline really, do I really expect them? Do I really expect them? But really, I don't know that everyone really does expect them. For example, Ms. Kate, can you hold this, please? Can I have your pen? Okay, can you hold this pen? Can I have, is that your notebook? Thank you. Okay. Good notes. Hold this, please, and can I have your pen, please? Just your pen. Thank you. What the hell just happened?
Magic trick.
Why do I have your pen?
Because I got your notebook.
Yeah. Why did you give me your pen?
Because you
So I asked you,
Yeah.
but I didn't really ask you what I do. I told you. Yeah. Why did you give me your notepad?
Because you're Gamboa.
Because I'm Gamboa, no. Was I rude?
No, no, no.
No. Did I ask you?
Yeah.
But did I really ask you?
No.
No. Why do you have What do you have? Yeah. Why do you have her pen? Yeah. Why do you have my pen? Right, Miss. Lewis, hold this for a second. Thank you so much. Okay. It's the same thing as Mrs. Jones. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Versus what sometimes we do when we're new. Mrs. Jones, if you could maybe, no, it's okay. What if I said, Lewis, can you hold my pen? You really don't have to. If you, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
So that is so weak. It's weird and gross. I'll say it again. That is so weak. It is weird and gross. Do you agree? Say yes.
Yes.
Yes. The way you ask sometimes is weird and gross sometimes. Think about that. Mrs. Jones, so how did you like the presentation? Okay, well, there's one more really important part. It's okay. Some of you left the appointment and didn't get recommendations. I know 4 of you, because your manager told me, said, it's okay, don't worry about it. It's not okay, and you should worry about it. Yes, any light bulbs on? I have been weenie, wimpy lately. Yeah, but ready? I understand why. But the next thing I want you to write down will help that. Number 1, you got to memorize page 16. You have to memorize page 16. Then you won't be weenie and wimpy. It's part of it. And so notice how I asked and how I gave the pen. Taylor, could you hold, please? Thank you so much. Mrs. Jones, thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. Here's a pen and paper. Go and write down as many as you can. It's different. And so with confidence comes the eye contact. With confidence comes that. But I want to change your thought process and how you can do this. Watch. Okay. You should expect to get 10 to 20 recommendations every time. Okay. And if you expect it, what happens with your confidence? It drops or it goes up?
Goes up.
It always goes up. When you expect to hit the basketball in the hoop, when you shoot the ball, when you expect to strike that guy out, when you expect to get an A, don't you walk in differently?
Yeah.
Don't you put your clothes on differently? Oh, can't wait to pitch today. Strike that guy out. No problem. It's the same confidence. But ready? Here's why you should expect to get lots of names. Okay? You will get lots of names, 10 to 20, if they like 2 things. Well, first of all, what do they have to like, obviously? They have to like the product, okay? And then who do they have to like?
You.
You. You can't get a lot of recommendations if it's only one. If they love Cutco but don't like you or not comfortable, none. If they really like you but don't think the product's that great, that's kind of weird, right? That happens. You get none. So let's talk about how do you get customers to like both. And it seems kind of strange. I'm going to teach them how to like you. I'm going to teach them how to like you today. What? That's cool. But I want to talk about this for a second. The product. If you want them to like, or not even like, love the product and love you, is really more like it. What has to happen if you want them to love the product?
You have to
Know what you're talking
You
about?
have to love it. Okay, number 1. People don't buy Cutco, they buy 2 things. What?
Enthusiasm and your belief.
Enthusiasm in your belief, okay? So your enthusiasm. Mrs. Jones, this is the Cutco Petite Carver. It's awesome. How does that feel in your hand, Miss Abby? Yeah, it's really comfortable, isn't it? Some of you sound like that and you wonder why people don't love the product. Okay, versus, okay, Miss Taylor, you ready? Okay, hold on. Yeah, how's that feel in your hand?
Pretty good.
Yeah, isn't it? I'll try the other hand. Yeah, it works both ways. Isn't that great?
Pretty good.
Genuine enthusiasm. Throw it. Nice. Okay. Genuine enthusiasm is what makes that. But the other part is you have to do a kick butt presentation. Okay, I'm just going to throw out some rhetorical questions. Don't write them down. I want to get some light bulbs going. You want them to love the product so they'll give you recommendations. Yes?
Yes.
You want them to love it so much that there's no I would recommend my whole neighborhood, Abby, here's my cell phone. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, but when you do a presentation, you don't even know your whole product. Ready? Some rhetorical questions. You don't have to answer it. Do you know that there's a website for your product called Cutco.com? Sarcasm.
Yes.
Yes.
And do you know that all the details are in there about your product, yet some of you haven't even gone to Cutco.com yet? Do you know that there are 3 sets that we sell that are the most popular sets? It's the Homemaker, it's the Signature, it's the Complete. One is for people who
Have to cook.
the other one's for people who
Like to cook.
and the ones who absolutely
Love to
But
cook.
when they buy, they only buy the absolute
Best.
Yes, but do you know that some of you don't even know how to explain the difference between the 3? Yet you want to know why you haven't sold one. Do you know that there are 3 different reasons why people buy the product for those 3 sets? Do you know that the signature set has how many different pieces in the homemaker?
Three.
Three. But do you know what they're called without me showing it to you?
The cheese knife, the double D.
Do you know what they're for?
Yes.
Some of you are looking at me like deer in headlights. How are you expecting to give a great presentation when we can't even explain all the tools in the next bigger set? It's called the hearty slicer, the santoku, and the cheese knife. Can you explain those three? Can you explain which sets have the table knives versus the steak knives? Do you know the price, or do you have to call the manager? And I know they say call the manager. I know that's really important, but you can't quote the three prices of the three most popular sets. How are you supposed to get people excited? Do you know that this is the complete set for people who love to cook? It's got the basic set plus all the meat plus all the veggie. But how many of you can actually explain what the difference is between the meat and veggie? How many of you have even opened this up to bother to read the bottom where it says the difference between the meat and veggie? How many of you are able to quote all the different prices and know what all the tools are? What am I trying to say? If you want a professional sale, which is lower or higher in money? Higher. What kind of presentation do you have to do? Yeah, right now, I want you to write down my presentation and give yourself a grade of professionalism. How well do you really know the product? A, B, or C? And if it's an A, it's an A. I don't know how many A's we really have in here, pure A's. But, ready? Know your product. Do you know the difference between the homemaker and the galley? Do you know the payment plans? Now, this will come with time, by the way. But knowing your basic stuff is really, really important. Do you know, even on the basic homemaker, not just the nicknames, right? If you're from my office, my goodness, for the millionth time. Paring knife for up and D.
Hair.
Trimmer for.
Small stuff.
Spatula for.
Sandwiches.
Tea carver for. Meat. Turning fork for.
Serving.
Butcher knives for what?
Hard stuff.
Tea chefs the veggie.
Chopper.
Slicers for.
Bread.
Holidays and.
Barbecues.
How often do you use a table
Every
knife?
day.
Some of you are going, I don't know that. That's a problem. So fix that. You can learn that. It's in your manual. Okay? Well, what's my point here? If you want a professional presentation, know your product like a professional. Versus, you know what? Let me call my manager because I don't know. I'm not buying a Ferrari from you if you have to call your manager and you don't know. I'm not buying a house from you if you have to call your real estate owner, the owner of the real estate mortgage company and real estate agency because you don't know. I'm going to buy a house when you say, oh, Valentina, you wanted a deck? Come on, let me show you this deck for you and your wife. Is this a deck or what? So let me tell you about this deck. This deck originally was the original portion of the deck from 1949. And what they did was I'm going to buy that house, okay, for a BMW, right, Brooke? Oh, let me tell you about BMW. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're talking to me. So here's why BMW is just the best, okay? It's the ultimate driving machine. I'm getting one, so it's the ultimate driving machine. And why I think you should get this M4. It's awesome. And you lay it out and you say, and before you even test drive, this is the different modifications and this is why it's so much better. You could get a 3 Series and I won't stop you. Man, see the difference? You can't do that with this or this when you're still reading the book nose to the book on this. Ready? Does anyone, and this is the main tip, what I'm going to give you here. Does anyone know the number one thing that all professionals are people who get paid to do something professionally? Athletes, musicians, actors, and performers. They all have one thing in common. They rehearse more than they perform. I'll say it again. Professionals who make professional money, there you go, you're welcome, rehearse more than they perform. My last concert I went to live was, Maroon 5, second row. Great concert. They practice more than they are on tour. My favorite sports, I'm from Baltimore, so all the Baltimore sports. The Orioles practice more in the off season than the games. It's close. And the Baltimore Ravens, right? They practice more than they're actually playing those ideally 16, 17, 18, 19 games ideally. Super Bowl, right? So think about that. Yet, how many of you are trying to get a professional sale, but you didn't put professional prep? I'll say it again, professional prep is rehearsal. So here's what I would suggest. Can you find time in your schedule to always do 2 things every week? Number 1, prepare for your phone time and then prepare for your presentation, AKA rehearse. Because when you practice, what do they say? Practice makes
Perfect.
Yeah, so why have you gone into presentations without practicing and knowingly do an imperfect presentation? Has anyone ever done a presentation, you go, and you're saying it out loud, you're going, that's bad to yourself?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Abby, and in your mind you're going, oh God, oh God, oh God, what's going on? Okay? Have you ever done something, maybe not Cutco, where you rehearsed it and you nailed it, and you said, yep, because it was the same thing I did for those 3 hours or 1 hour? I'm not telling you 3 hours of rehearsal. I'm just saying, can you put an hour of rehearsal a week, and can you put 1 or 2 hours a week for your phone time?
Yeah.
Why did I put more for the phone time?
Sometimes that's how you.
It's more important, because you need lots of
calls.
appointments. You got it? Any light bulbs on the rehearsal? Yes. Any light bulbs on, go to the damn website. I'm serious. Any light bulbs on, oh wait, there's a back part of the book that explains all the other tools I haven't really looked at. Yeah. This is not a call out session. This is not a shame on you. This is a, hey, let's get really professional. Watch your paychecks follow. You guys see that? Really important. Really important. Okay. Also, does anyone know the #1 hardest part of the presentation when you're new? It's not the closing, believe it or not.
Intro.
It's the intro. It's the awkward moment. Is that cool kid said? That awkward moment. It's that awkward moment from chit chat. I'm ready. I'll say it a different way. How many of you, chit chat's really not that big of a deal. The saying hello's not that big of a deal. It's transitioning from that to now I'm going to sell you something. Raise your hand if you've ever felt that funky, like it was really cool, but then when you started to sell, you felt like that guy or that girl. Raise your hand. I did. And you felt almost, ready? I hate saying this, high pressure. Or I'm trying to take advantage of you and I don't feel good about that. Gotta eliminate that, because ready, if you feel like that, do you think that might come across?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Actions speak.
Louder.
Oh yeah. So if you're thinking it, oh boy. So let me teach you how to open up the presentation, okay? If you open up your training manuals, if you have one, if you don't have yours, look at them with someone else, but ideally you have yours. If you turn to the first page, page 1.
That's fine. Oh, that's in that. Oh, thank you. That's cool. Thank you.
Once you're chit-chatting in the beginning, and in my office we put a star next to the sentence, okay? Once your chit-chatting is over and you say, oh, when you're catching up, if it's someone you know, it's easy. If it's someone you recommended to, you're learning, getting to know them. What's the sentence that starts the presentation? What do you say? What's the start? Abby, go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Miss Abby, thank you so much for seeing my presentation. Okay? The part that's funky is going from that point on, isn't it? All right, Mr. John, let's catch up. Miss Brooke, I'll have summer camp for the kids. Okay, great. And then you become what I call the knife nerd. The knife nerd goes from, oh, hey, I'm going to read now. Okay? The knife nerd goes from, I'm really personal, to I'm so personal that when I'm talking about myself and sharing goals, I have to read. Let me give you an example. So when I proposed to Heidi the night before Thanksgiving, I didn't read anything. I didn't read anything. Shouldn't have to. Should I?
No.
I can't even explain how much I care about. What the heck?
I don't think so.
What's more genuine? Look down or look at you?
Looking straight in the eye.
Yeah, okay. So how does it come across when you're about to share your goals and about you, what you're excited about when you're reading?
You're lying.
More or less authentic?
Less.
Less authentic, less genuine. So, and ready? It's kind of our fault. It's what the script says. Right? So right now you're like, Jeff, it's your fault that it's awkward and I'm a knife nerd. Okay? It kind of is. But let me give you, when I learned this at my first Sldm and I kind of crafted it. This is my scientific way to now get them to love me. You guys feel comfortable? Rehearse, okay? Know your product better. Cut lots of moves. Have lots of fun, and make sure you call the office for deals. You know that. This is what I want to talk about now. Because if you do it this way instead of the knife nerd, let me see if you feel the difference. So let's say you're my customer, okay? How you normally do it. So hi, Miss Brooke, and everything's good with the family? Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time to see my presentation. It really means a lot. Just to tell you a little bit about me, because I'm reading from the book, and that's how awkward it is to read about me. Mrs. Jones, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? I'm working with Cutco because, and as you read, it gets more and more awkward. Raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Now, does it subside? Does it go to the side, and eventually they get pumped about what?
The product.
The product. But that part's not fun, and that part is not great because it's not a good start. Versus, let me feel like this one better. So, Ms. Brooke, everything's good with the family? And the summer camp's going well, you said? Okay. Well, do you mind if we get started? Okay, thank you so much. Actually, I'm so sorry. Before we do, can I just say thank you for seeing my presentation today? It really means a lot. I called a lot of people this morning, and you were nice enough to see me today. And I just want to say how much I appreciate it. Ms. Brooke, have you heard of Cutco? You have? Okay, so you know how awesome it is. And it's Cutco knives, it's kitchen cutlery. But I'm not a knife salesperson, okay? The reason I'm doing Cutco is because I'm a pre-med major over at FGCU on the West Coast. And I'm looking for an opportunity like this summer to make my own money. And I want to gain resume skills to help build for medicine. And I want to run my own practice. So this company gives me some really cool business skills. Okay, and that's why I'm doing Cutco. So do you mind if I share some of my actual goals with you though? Okay. Stop there. Does that seem different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any light bulbs on that one? Yeah, when you see that or hear that, how's that one feel?
Yeah.
Did anyone think the word smooth or smoother? Did anyone think kind of charismatic? Here's the cool thing. You don't have to be charismatic or smooth to do that. You just have to be able to write the notes I'm going to give you right now. Okay? So it's a science. Here's what's really cool. Everything I did is just a step-by-step process. I want you to open up the presentation more genuine, strongly, because we want them to like two things to get recommendations, the product and then who?
You.
Yeah, the you, okay? So first of all, notice when I start, what's the first part of the presentation? What are you doing in the beginning? You're not even opening the book. You're just chit-chatting, right? The P, plants, people, profession. That's if you don't know them. Then eventually, thank you so much for taking the time to see my presentation. Then you read it like the knife nerd. I read that too. Instead, notice I started with opening and closing the book. So I want you to write that down. Opening and closing the book. Okay. I'm going to explain each step and what it means. Okay. So if I'm with Miss Brooke here and I open the book, this book represents Cutco and the company. This represents business. So when you open the book, this represents I'm going to sell you something. No matter how friendly the beginning is, if it's my favorite Miss Abby down the street, or it's my Uncle Lewis, who's my godfather and his wife, when I pull this book out, I'm a salesperson. Thumbs up if you understand why, okay? So when I go like this, I'll say, Mrs. Jones, or Miss Brooke, thank you so much for taking time to see my presentation. Actually, when I close the book, what does that mean I'm doing to business?
Putting it
I'm
aside.
putting business, and I even put it to. So now I'm just talking to you one-on-one. Genuine. Any light bulbs there, right? Any actors, thespian? You got to eat this up. This is a physical representation of selling. I'm going to put the representation of selling to the side. Now I just want to talk to you person to person. Higher or lower or higher genuine? Higher genuine. Okay. What's the second step? What did I say? Why is that? Well, everyone wants to be appreciated, and when you thank them, you get them on whose side? Yeah. And notice there's no script. There's no thank you. Say it like this. It's thank you, and genuinely thank them for what you're thankful for in that appointment. Miss Nikki, thank you for seeing me today. I sat in 2 hours of traffic on 95. There was something on the turnpike, and I had to go on 95. And I just really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks for the sandwich. Oh, man, that was needed. Okay. Miss Taylor, thank you so much for seeing me today. I had a phone jam last night, so at my office, I was making phone calls. I was trying to line up 13 appointments. I only lined up 11, and you're my 11th one, so thank you so much. Miss Brooke, thank you so much for seeing me. Every time I come over, you always make me feel so comfort and so comfortable and welcome, and thanks for just being so awesome. Thank you. So what are you doing? You're getting the customer on your side, okay? Then this is the part that starts to get really fun. You say, Mrs. Jones, have you heard of Cutco before? Okay. I'm going to show you a product called, and this is how I say it. Have you heard of Cutco? I'm going to show you Cutco today. And ready? Their response is not important. You already know the answer. It's either yes or no, or it's I think, maybe. One of those. You have a mom like that? You know, and they have a whole conversation with their husband. You know, have you heard of Cutco? Yeah, I think. And they right in front of you. Okay, that's my mom, by the way. Okay. It doesn't matter what they say. Your response is the killer key here. Your response is going to show them, I want to do this, and it's beneficial for me, and I choose to do this, versus I'm the college student that got suckered into the knife shop for the summer. Which is what sometimes the customers look at you like, don't they?
Yeah.
How many of you have ever done an appointment where you're starting and they don't say anything, and you're doing your presentation, they look at you and they go, and you can tell in their mind they're going, what are you doing, honey? What is this? Raise your hand if you've ever felt the, what the hell are you doing look. Okay? It's because, you come across as the student that got suckered into selling knives. And I would say the same thing if I were your aunt or uncle. But here, Mrs. Jones, let's get started. I'm so sorry. Before we do, Ms. Brooke, I just want to say thank you so much for seeing me today. I made 20 calls this morning. I only got 4 appointments, and you're one of them. So I really appreciate your help. I'm going to show you a product called Cutco today. Have you heard of it? Doesn't matter what she says. Let's say yes. Yes, okay. Your response is going to show that you believe in this and that you're not a sucker college kid. Oh, you have heard of it? Oh, then you know how awesome this is. I can't wait to show you. Let's say she says no. Miss Nick, I'm going to show you Cutco today. Have you heard of Cutco before? You have, okay. So you know it's great. What if they say no? Mr. Michael, have you and your wife heard of Cutco before?
No, never.
No? Oh, this stuff is awesome. In fact, I wouldn't put my name behind it if it wasn't. I always said that. My dad was a really famous doctor. So if I said that, people always go, why are you selling knives? Does your dad know you're doing this? Yes. I would say, oh yeah. So no matter yes or no, your response should be, oh, so you'll see how awesome these are. Or, oh, you already know how great these are. Because I want them to see that I'm genuinely excited about the company. Then the next part's the most important. But I want you to know I'm not a knife salesperson. This is where you let them know and you essentially keep it real with them that, hey, I know I'm selling knives. I'm not a knife salesperson. You're addressing the elephant in the room. I'm working with Cutco because. Okay. Mrs. Jones, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Okay, I'm working with Cutco because. And notice, you just go genuinely of why you're working with Cutco. Okay? And then when you're done, you go into, I'm in a huge contest. Can I show you my fast start contest? Okay. So notice the difference, right? So for example, Brooke, you're going to do the presentation for me. I'm Miss Heidi. Yeah. Okay. So I want you to open the book, and I'll just start with, okay, Mrs. Gamboa, let's get started. Actually, before we do, I'll just follow the script. Go ahead.
Okay, Mrs. Gamboa, let's get started. First, I would like to share some of my goals with you, if that's okay. My first
Real
contest
quick,
goal.
can you say actually before we do?
Actually, before we do, can I share some of my goals with you? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much for hearing my presentation.
Oh, of course, sweetie. You know we love you. We'll do anything for you.
Have you heard of Cutco before?
No, you know we've heard of Cutco. No, we haven't, sweetie.
Well, I just. Oh, we don't. Okay, sorry.
Tell me how you feel about Cutco.
Well, what Cutco is a line of kitchen cutlery and other outdoor items. And I just want to let you know I'm not a knife salesman person. The reason why I'm working is because I hope to fill out my 10K fast start and be able to win a trip to Jamaica.
Okay, cool. And then you go into your goals. Now notice, and I'm putting it on the spot, no one has to do it in front of 30 people normally, right? Nice job. Can we give a round of applause, by the way? Okay. Can we give a real round of applause, please? You can't mess that up if it's genuine, right? Lewis. Okay, and here's where you do it on page 1, right? You start off, you chit chat with the customer. Okay. I always just start it right here before I even go to thank you so much. Right? Before I even do the thank you so much, I say, let's get started. Actually, before we do, I want to say thank you before we start. Thank you for seeing me today because of. And I'm going to show you a product called Cutco. Have you heard of it before? No? Oh, it's awesome. You're going to love it. I wouldn't put my name behind it if it wasn't great. But I'm not a knife salesperson. I'm going to show you those knives today. The reason I'm working with Cutco is because . So do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? Okay? Lewis, Mrs. Gamboa.
So right before I start, I just want to thank you so much for seeing me today. I actually spent all night yesterday just making a bunch of phone calls, and you're actually one of my only 2 appointments, so thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome, Lewis. We know we love you from church. We do anything for you.
Oh, thank you so much. So actually, have you ever heard of Cutco?
I know the knives, and everyone's raving about them.
All right, awesome. At least you've heard of it. These are some awesome products. And actually, before I get started, I just want to say I'm not a knife salesperson.
Okay.
And the reason I'm working with this company is because my future goal is to create my own business. And I feel like this is the perfect stepping stone for it. And I'm just putting my feet in the water, essentially. And I'm looking like, oh, I kind of butchered that last part, but like, I'm trying to see where it's going to go from here.
The reason you guys mess up at the end is because 30 people are watching you.
Yeah.
But what did you notice? Did he have to make anything up?
No.
Did he stutter before the end? Why? Where's that coming from?
All
It's
right.
genuine. Okay? So start your presentations like this, not the way that we taught you. Sorry. Got it? Yes, sir.
Would it be kind of a bad idea to sort of pause after saying I'm not a knife salesperson? Or pause?
I think you're overthinking it and you just go for it. Yeah. Yes, no, maybe. I'm not sure yet. I just tried a couple times first.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, cool.
So can you guys feel more comfortable starting your presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open the book. Let's get started. Actually, before we do, got it? Any light bulbs there?
Is this yours?
Yes. Okay. So don't open up like the knife nerd anymore. Okay. All right. Next one. Automatic sponsor. I want you to write down automatic sponsor. If you don't have this sheet, I'll give you one. It doesn't have to be green, but one of the last things in your beginning part of your book, here's how your book should look. If you don't have this one, this is advanced training. What are you doing here? If you're from my office, hey, you're sharing your goals with the customer, okay? Now what's this sheet? Fast start sheet.
Letter of recommendation.
This is the President's Club. Okay, if you're missing any of these, you gotta talk to your manager. I'll give you one before you leave.
Scholarship.
What's this? Right here, if you're missing any of those four, you can't leave here until I give it to you. And tell your manager I said, why don't they have it? Should have this, right? Ready? You're explaining a goal that you have nothing to point to. How's that work?
Not very well.
I'll say it again. If you raise your hand right now, you're explaining a goal that you have nothing to point to. You're just talking. It's gonna go in one ear
Out the other.
and out through the nostril. I mean, sorry, out the other.
I don't know if that was a joke.
Like that. It's the sympathy laugh for dad. That's what she's doing. Oh, dad. Okay, got it? But the last one is sponsorship. Ours is green. It doesn't have to be green. And if you don't have one, I'll give you one. Sponsorship shows that when you get 10, it's really, I want to talk about this for a second because this is an easy way to get customers excited. Okay, I always let them know, Mrs. Jones, and this is my sponsorship. I'll tell you how you can help me with that later, and it doesn't cost anything. I want you to write that into your notes. And Mrs. Jones, this is the automatic sponsorship. Okay. This is the automatic sponsorship. And I want you to know this is how you can also, I'll show you how you can help me with this, and it doesn't cost anything. Whenever you talk about the automatic sponsorship, Mrs. Jones, and this is our automatic sponsorship, and this is how you can also help me, and it doesn't cost anything. Right away, you're already starting the presentation with no pressure. You're taking up pressure by doing that. So far, so good?
And then you
Okay.
explain it at the end.
Yeah, and you'll explain it at the end when you do the actual page 16. Okay. So here's what I also want to do. I want to talk to you about. Turn to page 16, or look next to someone if you don't have yours. Turn to your actual recommendation approach. What I found is that if you wait for customers, or if you allow customers to give you objections, it's going to be harder to handle them versus you want to handle some of the objections they're going to give you ahead of time. Now, there are way more advanced workshops. In fact, next week at SC1, our #1 college student for the last 3 years, Taylor Maxter-Cart, if you're at SC1, he taught closing. He's going to teach how to get lots and lots of recommendations. It's a really advanced talk next week. So make sure you get invited to the division meeting. Make sure you're there. But I just want to give you some basics here of how I like to prevent customers from saying, I don't know anyone, or I'll give them to you later. Anyone ever get that before? Or, I'm not comfortable doing that. I want to help eliminate that. Not completely, but I want to help. At the top of page 16, when you start your recommendation approach, what's the first thing you say to the customer? It's a question. What do you ask?
How do you like my demo?
Hey, Mrs. Jones, how do you like my presentation? I'd like you to add 3 more questions. Okay? Okay. How did you like my presentation, Mrs. Jones? Okay. Did you enjoy it? That's the next. These are 4 extra questions. Oh, Mrs. Jones, did you enjoy the presentation? And they say what, of course? Yes. Ready? You want them to verbally say yes, because when they say yes, they also know that when they recommend you to the 10 to 20 friends, their friends will also what?
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Mrs. Jones, also, did I do a good job? Did I do a good job? You're almost emphasizing that you're new. Did I do a good job? Oh, honey, you did a good job. So what do they know? Their friends will also see you do a good job. Mrs. Jones, did I make you feel pressured? Oh, no, sweetie, it wasn't pressured. It was really easy. I'm glad you liked that set today. Because then they know their friends who they recommend will not be pressured. And did you enjoy the quality of the product? Okay, great. Well, go ahead and pull out your cell phone because there's one more really important part. Here's where you can really help me out. What do? You just go through page 16. When you ask these questions ahead of time, what you're doing is we call it priming the customer. I used to do it with my mom and dad. Whenever I wanted to get the nicer car on the weekend instead of the car that I started driving with, which is a Volvo, the safe car, okay, instead of the cool Jeep, I wanted the Jeep on the weekends. I always knew that whenever I asked for the car, my dad would ask me the same question. Hey, Dad, can I get the car? He would say, hey, did you do your chores? How are your grades? Did you help your brothers and sister? Did you help Mom? Okay. And sometimes he wouldn't give me the car. He was in a bad mood. Versus I would just prime my dad. I'll say, hey, Dad, hey, did Mom tell you I helped with the laundry and everything? And I already cut the grass? Okay. Oh, and I helped Louis with his grades. Okay. And did you see my report card? Okay, cool. And did Mom tell you what yeah, I did. So can I get the car? Oh, sure. Nice job, son. So you just beat him to the punch. Okay. So when you ask these 4 questions, what you're doing is you're priming the customer to say, yes, Nikki's going to do a presentation that's good. Yes, Michael is going to do a good job. Yes, Brooke is going to be low pressure. And yes, Taylor is going to show a product that all my friends are going to enjoy. So when then you go through the rest of the sheet, it's easier. Okay. Any light bulbs? Yes. Okay. Good. Last one. Okay. Last one. And you don't have to write the notes on this one. This one, I'll just say ahead of time. You're very welcome. This is the Jeff Gamboa magical phrase on why I always get 10 or 20 recommendations every time. When I do this, it helps a ton, okay? Don't worry about taking notes of what I'm saying. Just listen. All right, so eyes up. Anyone know the number 1 reason why people sometimes don't give recommendations at the end?
They don't ask.
Maybe, yeah, if you do the approach wrong, sure. I agree.
Not enough rapport.
Okay.
I'm not comfortable giving names.
Yeah, maybe they had a bad experience or don't want to be looked at as that person or something uncomfortable, something weird. Okay. Has anyone ever done a presentation where the presentation was great? Even the beginning might have been awkward, but the presentation of Cutco was pretty good. They were excited. They got a set of Cutco. They bought something. But then at the end, when you started asking for recommendations, their attitude changed back to negative. Like, okay. The number 1 reason when someone doesn't get recommendations is because you caught the Mac customer off guard. Ready? Have you ever tried to catch your parents off guard? They love that, don't they? You ever catch your parents off guard? They love it? They hate it. Mac customers hate getting caught off guard, especially by a college kid. Okay? So what happened was whenever you felt that, oh, whoa, who's ever had a customer say this? Oh, no, I don't do that. Or I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with this. Or what is this? You caught them off guard. So ready? You can use my magic phrase here. Watch. It's on this page, and you don't have to write it down. Just pay attention. What's this page? You're establishing what? Credibility of the company. Okay? And if you turn to page 1, I'll tell you where to fill it in at some point. I'll show you where it goes. I'm sorry, page 2. Page 2. Mrs. Jones Cutco is a proud producer of many K-bar knives used in our United States military, in fact, specifically the Marines, and Cutco is involved with many local and national charities, as up here. You guys don't know this part. Mrs. Jones, and if you take a look here at the book, okay, it says DSA. We're a member of the Direct Selling Association and the Better Business Bureau. These are 2 organizations that monitor ethical practices of U.S. companies, and we have an outstanding record with both. So what that really means, Mrs. Jones, is that I can't do door-to-door, I can't do telemarketing. The only way that I can continue to work towards a scholarship with the company is if I'm personally recommended to other people like the way I was recommended to you. So at the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask you to recommend me to 10, 20, 30 plus people. If I don't do a good job, or if you don't like the presentation, or Mr. and Mrs. Jones, if you don't like me, please don't recommend me to anyone. But if you do like the presentation, if you do enjoy the product today, or if you just like me, want to help me out, I'm going to ask you to recommend me to everyone that you know. Okay, but I just want to give you a heads up. Cool. Let me show you these scissors. What's happened? What just happened? What trickery? What sorcery just happened? What do they do?
It's like you're telling them in advance. They're not like,
Yeah. Are they surprised now?
no.
Ready? This is what happens when you do that a lot. Eventually, you'll have customers at the end. Mrs. Jones, did I do a good job? Did you enjoy the presentation? Did you feel pressured? Okay, great. And did you enjoy the quality of the product? Okay, here's where you can really help me out. Oh, is this where you give the names, honey? Just give me the paper. Okay. Or they cut you off when you're about to close the sale. Like, and honey, when do you need the names? And then you'll text me. Happy. Who'd like that? Who'd like customers to say, oh, when do I give the names?
Oh my God.
We'd love that. I get that all the time. Every 3 appointments I get. Oh, when do I? Oh, later. Sorry. Okay, go. I'm gonna help you. You like that phrase? Okay, I'm gonna give it to you word for word. This is the Jeff Gamboa magical phrase recommendations, and here's where it goes. Here's where it goes. Page 2. Notice there's an empty bullet. Some of you wrote other stuff in there. Whatever that is, scratch it out. There's an empty bullet in the middle of page 2. Write down magic phrase. Can you pass this? So this is gonna go magic. Thank you. And I'll take the extras. Okay, here we go. Mrs. Jones, also, you have to point to it. It's really tiny. We are a member of the DSA, which is the Direct Selling Association, and the Better Business Bureau. These are 2 organizations that monitor ethical practices of U.S. companies. We have an outstanding record with both. Let me time out for a second. Who's heard of the Better Business Bureau or Direct Selling Association? Just let me give you the short version. These are 2 companies. Their job is to see if a company is ranked high or bad. And if they get ranked poorly by the Better Business Bureau, does anyone know what happens? They go out of business.
Who ranks the Better Business Bureau?
What's that?
No.
Oh, who ranks them?
Yeah.
Wait, is it a government agency?
I think it's a private, from my understanding. Okay. So we're a member of the DSA and the Better Business Bureau. These are 2 organizations that monitor ethical practices of U.S. companies. We have an outstanding record with both. So Mrs. Jones, what that means is that I can't do door-to-door telemarketing. Keep reading along. So the only way that I can continue to compete for that scholarship, circle the word scholarship. What does scholarship emphasize? Student, not salesperson. Okay. The only way I can continue to compete for that scholarship is if I'm personally recommended to other people by each customer, just like I was recommended to you. So what are you reminding them of? That I'm there to see you, Miss Abby, because you got recommended. Has anyone ever had a customer say, "Oh, I don't do that. I don't do that." They just did. If they just sat with you, they just did. Because they said yes to the appointment, and how did you get them? Yeah, so it's kind of silly when they say that, right? Say, Mrs. Jones, just like I was recommended to you. Here's the best part. So Mrs. Jones, at the end of the presentation, I'm going to ask you to recommend me to 10, 20, or 30 plus people, other people. If I don't do a good job, if you don't like the product, or if you just don't like me, I don't want you to recommend me to anyone. But if you feel like I did a good job, if you like the presentation, and I actually do this, I smile. I go, or if you just like me, okay.
Do that.
Oh, yeah, right? I give the how can you not like me smile. I'm a student. I give the how can you not like me smile. I go, or if you just don't like me, or if you just really like me, okay, then I'm going to ask you to recommend me to 10 to 20, 30 people, as many people as possible. I just wanted to give you a heads up. How's that feeling now? What's the feeling now?
Takes off the pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. That helpful? Any light bulbs on that one? Yes? Beautiful. Is this section helping?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We got last one. We're going to go to the next break. And then I'm going to teach them some really cool selling stuff. Let me give you the order of the recommendations now. So from here on out, here's the order. And if you're watching online, it's on the television, but we'll write it down. Order number 1 is you ask, so we're on page 16. You ask the 4 questions, okay? You ask the 4 questions. Okay. What are the 4 questions? Mrs. Jones, did you enjoy the
Product.
presentation? Did I do a good
Job.
Okay, did you feel pressured? And did you enjoy the quality of the product? Okay, great. Mrs. Jones, go ahead and grab your cell phone. Here's where you can really help me out. Okay. Then you go into page 16, which is the approach, right? Then you go into page 16. I would get this order in. Okay. Then you do the hand back. This is my favorite. Some of you learned this on Monday, some of you didn't. You're the handbag, the rec handbag. This is so great because remember, how much is each name worth to you? 15 up to $50. Okay, so does 3 names make a difference?
Heck yeah.
Does 2 names make a difference?
Yes.
Oh yeah, of course. So do the approach, Mrs. Jones. Thank you so much, Miss Brooke. I really appreciate your help. Confident. She writes 4. She writes 14. She writes 34. Doesn't matter. Whatever she gives you, you hand it right back to her, respectfully. So thank you, Miss Brooke. Actually, you say thank you so much for those 4. Now, can you write down anyone that probably won't buy anything, but they're really nice and they'll see me for the scholarship? Okay, I'll say it again. Okay. Oh, thanks, Ms. Brooke, for these 14. For this, thank you for your whole church directory of 154 people. Doesn't matter. Now, can you write down anyone that probably won't buy Cutco, but they're really nice and they'll see me for the scholarship? What are you taking it off of? The buying. When they give you names, who are they giving you? People that they think will buy. So my mom, I did this for my mom. Oh, Mom, thank you so much, Mom. Now, can you write down anyone that won't buy, but they're really nice? They'll see me for the scholarship. Oh, yeah, you can see all the nurses. They're cheap. They're not buying anything, but go ahead, call that. Oh, yeah? They won't buy anything? 22 out of 22 for $12,000. Not going to buy anything because they're cheap.
They bought.
Mom. Thanks, Mom. Right? Because, ready? They don't know. They don't know. What they're doing is they're just giving you names initially of people they think they'll buy. They're trying to help you. So you just hand it right back. So hand back one more time. You get it? Slowly put it right back, and you first of all say, thank you. Okay. Thank you, Miss Brooke. Now can you write down anyone who won't buy Cutco, but they're really nice and they'll see me for the scholarship. Okay, so you have to write those keywords in there. Thank you, won't buy, scholarship. Thank you, won't buy, scholarship. Luke, are you free in the next 10? 15? We're going to do a break. That's all. Okay. So what if they write down 3 more? Was it worth it?
Yeah.
What if they wrote down, you were at 7, they wrote down 3 more. It was really worth it. Why? What happened?
Sponsor.
Just got a sponsor. We're not done yet. This is why I get so many recommendations. Actually, the next part too. Focus on the smiley. Just write down smiley, and I'll explain this in a second. Okay. The smiley face. I don't know what your recommendation sheets look like, but most of them should have a smiley face at 10 and 20. Why? That's the sponsor, okay? Your sheet doesn't have to look like this one, but 10 and 20. What I like to do is I go to the dollar store and think 3rd grade teacher. So I'll go to this dollar store, the sticker store or whatever, and I'll get stickers that are like 3rd grade elementary school type stickers. Smileys. Turtles, right? Turtles, as my niece says. Little sharks, little sharkies, okay? Little rainbow fish like Dory from Finding What? Yeah, I hope you know that, please. Okay? Right? Okay? Or unicorns, or little rainbows, or stars. The most unintimidating things I can find. Because the smileys are cool because they represent a sponsor. But I want to emphasize it's not a big deal because it's a unicorn. It's a smiley, it's a rainbow. And when the customer gives me back, so I'll do the approach. I hand back, thank you so much. Now can you write down anyone who won't?
Buy.
But they're really
Nice.
And they'll see me for the
Scholarship.
And they give you another 4 more. Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Brooke. Thank you. Now I'm at 8. Thank you. Actually, if you can get 2 more, if you can get to the smiley face, or if you can get to the unicorn, or if you can get to the little rainbow I put there, it helps me, it gets me a full sponsorship. Can you get to the rainbow? Versus, can you get to the next one for the corporate scholarship or sponsorship at 10? When you say that, it's soft. And you'll hear customers, oh, Alex, sweetheart, I can get to the rainbow. Give me that, come on. It's rainbow, it's stars, it's soft. I can help you with that. Versus, can you get to 10 for the sponsorship? It's a little, that's why we don't call it the ultimate. We call it the complete. Just like Mrs. Jones, instead of you get to the sponsorship, can you get to the smiley? It helps me. Okay? Did I get you 2 more? Was it worth it?
Yes.
Yeah, what if she, after the handback and who won't buy but they're nice and they'll see me, what if she gives you 13? I do the same thing. Oh, Miss Brooke, thank you so much for these 13. Actually, thanks for getting to the first unicorn with the glitter. If you get to the next star right here, this little cute star, 7 more, I get a double sponsor. That would really help me out. Can you get to the double star? And if you got 2 more, was it worth it?
Yeah.
You got to the double star. Was it really worth it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just racking them up. Okay. And then the last few things, if you don't know what qualify means, let me explain that to you. Who knows what qualify your recommendations means? Oh, beautiful. Let me teach this to you. So now you get all these names, but you want to know what kind of customers you have. So if you look, at least in our sheets in the pilot, it's got these little symbols. Okay. I'm going to show you the symbols. So you don't need them on the sheet and use them. What I do is I say, Miss Taylor, real quick, can I ask you a few quick questions about the customers before I finish up?
Sure.
Okay. So first of all, who here is really nice? Oh, okay, your sister. Okay. Oh, don't call her. She's not that nice. Okay, that's cool. So they'll say that till they go, oh no, she's not that nice. It's like their own friend. So nice. And so everyone they think is nice, they have to put a smiley face in that column. Then Mrs. Jones. What's that one?
Money.
Okay, you can't say that, that's rude, right? You can't say who has a lot of money. Right? Ready? Who likes nice things? Because you can only get nice things if you
Have money.
have money. Who in the sheet likes nice things? Oh, and they'll tell you, they'll give you the best ones. And oh, Abby, no, call my sister. She buys everything. She's good. Oh, and Lewis, no, call Abby, my neighbor. Yeah, like they'll tell you.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, they'll tell you. Some of you have experienced that. And Mrs. Jones, who here loves to cook? Oh, Nikki, call my sister. She entertains all the time. What does that mean? If they love to cook, what's their favorite part of the house?
Kitchen.
And what do they want to make sure has the best in it?
Nice.
Kitchen, their knives. Yeah, exactly. Last one, Mrs. Jones. Who has a big house? What does that mean? If you have a big house, it means a couple things. Number one, it means what?
Money.
Probably have more money. Number two means you entertain often. If you entertain often, what do you have to do?
Cook.
Cook. Okay. Nice, likes nice things. Cook, loves to cook. Big house. And then I put a dollar hashtag. Who has kids? And you ask how many. And say, oh, Taylor. Okay, Brooke has 2 kids. Actually, one on the way, so 2.5. Okay. And then Mr. Pablo and that's our neighbor and his wife. They have 4 kids. They cook all the time. So if I go through all the names, I'll know the ones that have the most symbols are my best customers, and I'll call those first because who do the best customers recommend you to?
Other
People like that. Other people who have the big house. Other people who are nice just like them. So that way you're not just calling random people and you find out, oh, they're not that good of a customer. Now you know. Okay? And then the last thing, this is one of my favorites, is texting. Now, in an ideal world, let's say Kate's my customer and she gives me 32 because I did all the steps and she gave me 32, 3 sponsors. She probably isn't going to text all of those people. I would highly recommend though, Miss Kate, actually, if you could text your best, like who would be the best 2 to 3 to start? Like who would you see first? That's my keyword. I want you to write that down. Who would you see first? And I kind of wink. Now what is that asking? Who do you think's going to be a good customer, right? Who's going to buy to be a good customer? So Miss Kate, who should I see first? If you were me. So if you were me, who would you see first? Yeah. Could we text them real quick? And at the bottom of the recommendation sheet, also at the bottom of page 16, is a text. And ready? Here's a light bulb. Save the text in your notes on your phone. Or text it to yourself so you always have it. And then you can copy and paste it, send it to the customer. And how many of you know adults, Mac customers, that don't know how to work their phone so well? Like they don't even know how to, Valentina, how do you, yeah, you do it. That's my mom. My mom doesn't even know how to put the picture on the text. That's how bad it is. Okay? So you teach them, say, oh, Miss Kate, do you mind if I send it? Okay. And you teach them how to send the text message to the best 5. Here's what's really cool. They text the best 5 who they think are going to be good customers. Before you even leave the house, they'll get responses. And Kate will say, oh, honey, actually, all 5 of my girlfriends, we go to brunch every Sunday. They all said yes. So when you call them, here's the call. Here's the different phone call. Hi, Miss Alex. Hi, it's Jeff. I was just over to see Miss Pinsker. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out today. Can I just give you my schedule?
Yeah.
Okay. That's your phone approach. No, what are you doing? No, I'm busy. They already said what?
Yes.
Yes. How many of you like phone time like that?
Oh yeah.
How many of you like to set up 7 or 8 appointments in an hour versus 1 or 2? Yeah, text the best 5. And it's awesome. And ready? This happens. Let's say I'm seeing Miss Taylor. She texts Miss Kate. And then all of a sudden, I'm about to leave, and she said, "Yeah, I'm available." If let's say I don't have an appointment after, how many of you have ever done an appointment and you wanted to have 1 or 2 or 3 after, but you just weren't booked? Yeah, I'll call from the house. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Miss Taylor. Hi, Miss Kate. It's Jeff. Yeah, I'm actually right in front of Miss Taylor. How are you? Yeah, she says hi. Yeah. Quick question. I'm kind of in a jam right now. I needed one more appointment after this. I'm open. Could I just come over right now? Yes. Okay. Cool. I'll be right over. Right away. Another appointment. No phone time. Any light bulbs on that one? Yeah. So get immediate appointments. The text messages are huge. Okay. Raise your hand if the 4 questions were really big for you because you were having a hard time setting up just the initial feel. Okay. Raise your hand if. Okay. I just got to memorize page 16. I haven't done it. Okay. Cool. Thanks for being honest. How many of you? I didn't even think about to hand it back because they're just writing down people who are going to buy. But I just say, oh no, who's not going to buy, but who's really nice. Okay. How many of you it's a smiley face? Yeah, just get a few more. How many of you it's I got to figure out who my best customers are? Okay. And then how many of you it's wait, everyone's text, right? Okay. So good. So far, so good. Okay. We'll go to break here in a second. All right. The next thing I'll say, at some point when you get really advanced, you'll be able to create a goal sheet. Okay, and this is sharing your goals, sharing your different goals with the customer. You do pictures. If you're from my office, did anyone already finish their new goal sheet with the pictures yet? You didn't? Let me see yours. I'll show you another one here.
Is it that yellow sheet with the knife?
So this is picture perfect. Nice job. This is your family or friends? Oh, that's wonderful. Cute picture. Cool. Perfect one. So, and lucky for you, I have extra copies if you're missing, so I'll give you this. Mrs. Jones, when you start the presentation, so you're not going to be the awkward knife nerd anymore. What do? You open the book and you do what? And you put it to the Mrs. Jones, I wanted to say thank you. Okay, tell them why. I'm going to show you Cutco. Have you heard of it? Oh, you have? Oh, this is awesome. Oh, you haven't? Oh, this is going to be awesome. I'm not a knife salesperson. The reason I'm working, you explain why, and then you say, do you mind if I share some of my goals with you? I would go right to this first. Okay, Mrs. Jones, let me share with you some of my goals. First of all, I have a contest goal. There's a fast start contest where in my first 10 days, I'm trying to sell over $10,000 and win this high-powered VIP networking event in Atlanta, Georgia, or in Miami with my managers. And it's going to be awesome. I get to meet the big people in the company, and I'm trying to win all the free Cutco products so I can have it for my sample kit. Also, my long-term Cutco goal is to get into Leadership Academy and potentially win a scholarship and get great resume experience. And I want to be able to be financially stable. My customer goal is I want to get over 1,000 customers that I can meet this summer. What are you planting seeds for?
Recommendations.
Yeah. And lastly, my long-term Cutco goal is I'm a major I'm a major in criminal science and criminology, and I'm looking to get into the FBI. And here's a picture. I'm going to Florida State University. These are me and my friends graduating from Cardinal Gibbons. Okay. And then this is me at the Grand Canyon.
No, Wichita Mountains in Oklahoma.
Oh, even better. Right? The Wichita Mountains in Oklahoma, because I love to travel, and this is just what I love to do. Cool? So, Mrs. Jones, let me share with you, first of all, my fast start contest. What's different about having this sheet and these pictures? What does that do?
Genuine.
Yeah, it's more genuine, more real, and it reminds them you're not a salesperson. You're what?
College student.
Got it? Okay, real quick before we go to break. Biggest light bulbs from this section, and then the next section we'll wrap up. What are some of the big light bulbs for you? Go back to your notes. From the $15 to $50 all the way to the rehearse your product, to open and close the book, to the 4 questions, the magic phrase, to the order. We'll start with Valdi.
Okay, so I would say like handing it back and really squeezing that like more like people.
Yeah, squeezing every little bit.
Trying to get the most
Good.
you can out of it.
Outstanding. Go ahead. And it's Sierra. Sienna. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The building rapport, making it more personal with them.
Okay. How many of you, the lifesaver is just opening it up, the presentation, you're not awkward and it's not high pressure? Okay, that's for some of you, that's huge, especially if how many of you are already a talker? You just don't know how to go from talking to selling. Yeah, you're welcome. That did it. That did it. That was me, by the way. Who else? Noah.
So the magic phrase for sure.
Okay. Right. I'm going to ask you at the end so you don't catch them off guard. Go ahead, Julio.
The magic phrase, because even though you didn't do a presentation for me, I feel like if you did a presentation, I would just think about the recommendation at the end.
Right.
Because of that magic phrase.
Yeah, and if you listen to Taylor Max on Tuesday, he'll show you. You should go right into recommendations. Go ahead.
You can qualify, because like the 5 people you call before presentation and the 5 after, that already does.
Yeah, you already does it for you. Exactly. Good. You put that together. Yes, sir.
Even though I've heard it before, it's also like taking the pressure off. Like it just
Yeah. The more comfortable, the better the sale because they trust you. And Ready Cutco sells the self, but they're gonna buy your enthusiasm, your belief, but they're only gonna do that if they believe in you and they feel comfortable with you. Good.
So the 2 biggest things I took from this is when the opening and closing of the book.
Yeah.
That's like a really cool technique, and then the qualifications as well.
Yeah.
That's gonna help me build a better attack list.
So we would reference 5 or 6 different tips here, but I want to go back to probably the first 10 minutes of this section. What do you have to do with these tips if you're going to put into your next presentation? Practice, rehearse. Who rehearses? Professionals. How many of you want professional paychecks with a comment in, like those guys? Yeah, with the comment, it's professional. With a 2 in front of it and 3 numbers is college student. Right? What are your average paychecks for normal people your age? A normal, not a big paycheck. 200 to 300, 200 to 400 bucks a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want a professional paycheck with a 1 in front of it and it's got 4 numbers and it's got a comma, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 in front of it, it's got a comma. That's cool. That's actually really cool for you guys.
That's amazing.
Right? I mean, no joke. And if you get invited to Atlanta for SC2, you're going to see people who have a comma with a 9 and a 10 plus in front of it. Andy Janti, you guys remember Andy from SC1?
Yeah.
His goal is going to put a 30 in front of the comma for his 18 days.
Wait, does he participate in the push too?
Oh yeah, he's one of the mentors. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to go to break so you guys can get some rest here. It is now 2:47. Let's take another 10. But ready? We went over by a tiny bit. Let's get back right at it because I'm going to teach you now how to sell some bigger sets right now. Okay, 2:47. Come back at 2:57. Thanks, guys.
I have 2
Okay, are we feeling a little bit more confident on getting recommendations?
Yes.
Starting the presentation. Now, let's close some sales. Let's do this. Let me teach you how to get more presentations themselves. I think that's the first thing. Here's what I want to put on the television. I'm going to give you the proper phone times. If you've been here for at least a week, you probably know this, but I still think it's important to write down. Okay. These are the best phone times to make. And here's why this is important, because if you don't know the right phone times, you're going to be really inefficient. And you don't want to be inefficient. Okay. So you should get, and how many of you came to either my office early on Saturday for the 10K coaching, or you were virtually watching me from your office? Okay, I covered this, but I think it's really important to write down. This is what I would consider top 5 basic for any successful Cutco rep, knowing when phone time is effective. So the first one you write down are the phone jams. The first one are the phone jams. Okay. Who's been to a phone jam before already? Okay. What's a phone jam? It's when everyone is making calls where? In the office. And remember, if you know the analogy, you're 33% more likely to work out if you go to a gym. Who goes to a gym? Yeah, why are you more likely to work out at let's say LA Fitness versus home? Because everyone else is working out and it's pumped and you're getting motivated, or maybe you're trying to impress someone, or the trainer's there to push you, or the music gets you going. Plus, if you go to the gym, it's not the type of place where you bring a bunch of McDonald's to. You can, right? But then everyone looks at you, Michael, what are you doing? It's the gym. Because it's a place that's meant to be positive and about fitness. Here, when you come to the office, and those of you that are just starting with Fort Lauderdale, like Kate, you know this, Louis, you know this, you don't walk in here to socialize. You know that. You don't walk. Now, is it fun? Do we make it fun? Yes. But when you leave here, you leave with more appointments and more knowledge and more friends for Jamaica every time. Okay? So the phone times are Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and they're from 6 to 9, 6 to 9:30, depending on the meeting. Okay? And here's why this is important. You never want to have an appointment during these times. Even if I have a rep that says, oh, I want to sell a signature, the amount of money on the signature doesn't outweigh the amount of appointments that you set, and you make more money from the appointments anyway. Plus, if someone's going to buy a signature on Thursday night, can't they buy it on Saturday? Doesn't matter. So don't be that rep. I would also write down last demo is no later than 4:30. So last presentation on those days, on Sundays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. The only exception to that is if you were already booked for your weekend and your manager lets you do appointments Thursday night. In fact, in our office, about 60% of our reps are already booked for the whole day, the week. So they do appointments Thursday night because Thursday and Friday and Saturday are all packed up. Second is morning phone time. How many of you have been to morning 10K Alliance or 10K Coaching Champions Club? Okay. And who's been already? Yeah, what are the benefits? You've been, I've seen you every day. Alex, what's the benefit of coming in?
You just learn a lot more that helps you. Like, I feel like every demo I'm doing is getting better and better because, like, the tips and the extra sheets.
And see, people who don't come are getting better by experience. You're getting better by experience and knowledge. Not to mention, what do we force you to do since you're here already? Yeah, we're making Alex book appointments. How many appointments have you booked every morning?
4.
Yeah.
5,
Per time or overall?
like per time. It depends.
Yeah. So think about this. If I come in Monday through Friday, I'm not talking about your career. I'm just saying either in your fast start or if it's a contest. If you come in Monday through Friday like Alex is one of our very hungry to learn new reps. Monday through Friday, I get 4 to 5 extra appointments every time I come in. That's 20 new appointments. If you just do the averages, 20 appointments is 12 sales for $2,400 to $3,000. So just by showing up, this young lady's already put 2 promotions in her bag. What are you at in sales?
2,000 something?
Yeah, you by coming in, you're gonna be, even if you screw up, you'll get to 6 for your fast start if you screw up, just because you showed up. So just food for thought on the morning phone time. This is my shameless plug for the more you're in the office, the better it is. You don't have to be here all the time, but if you're in your fast start, I would go Monday through Friday in the morning. Okay, and then when it's a push contest period, like in 2 weeks, I would go. And then any day after 6, you don't have to write all this, but any day in general after 6 is good. It's either right after or during dinner. And I don't mind calling during dinner because then I know if they're home. What do you say if you call them during dinner? Honey, we're eating dinner. You say, first of all, I'm so sorry. I'll call you back. Now you know where they are. Okay. So far, so good. How many of you, this is a light bulb and you didn't really know when to make calls? Okay. Now you know. If you make calls outside of this, I'll laugh at you and I'll tell you you're wasting your time. There's only one exception where it's okay to make calls outside of this. Anyone know?
When they tell you to call back at a certain time.
Number one, when you're texting from the house and the customer says, oh yeah, have them call me. You can call them right there. Or Lewis.
They tell you to call back at a certain time.
Yeah, let's say, Abby, you know what? I just talked to my friend. She said call her at 3. Normally, you wouldn't call her 3 anywhere. But if they said so. Okay? Any questions on this? Yes, sir.
Or before and after the phone.
Yeah, that's a little advanced. It's good. That's if you're getting aggressive. Good. Okay. 60-40. Okay. This is did you guys like the secret magic phrase for the recommendations?
Yes.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how lit? How lit was that tip for you?
It was lit.
8, 9, 10? Okay. This is a 10, 11, 12. This is more lit. This is lit-er?
No.
No, more lit.
No, no,
Okay.
no, no,
This is
no.
more fire. I don't know. Oh, Jeff. Most, especially you guys in my office, you guys just give me the "Oh Jeff" laugh. I really appreciate that, Uncle Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Okay. This is an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 60, 40. So let me do a quick review. You guys know you're allowed to give away free stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know that you can control what you give for free?
Yes.
If not, let me do a quick review. Most of you should know this. Okay. So you're allowed to give away 20 points for every $100 that they spend. Okay. Even if you know this, please write this down. So I'm going to change something for you. So let me give you an example. If they spend $200, easy math. How many 100s go into 200? 2 times 20.
40 points.
40. So I can give anything in the book for free away to get the order as long as the point value of the product isn't 40 or over 40. If I buy a homemaker, what do I get for free? Well, how many 100s go into 1200? 12 times 20 is 240. That's why traditionally when you offer the homemaker, you can give one of 3 things for free. Super shears. What else?
Entertainment bag.
Kitchen tool set and Lewis.
Entertainment bag.
Entertainment pack. You guys are familiar with that. Now, if you know the points, this is 75, this is 135, this is 155. You have 240 points. What could you do?
Get more.
You could give both for free. Now, should you offer both for free to start?
No.
Why? Because you don't want to give something for free if you don't need to. Why? Because it takes out of your commission. But if the customer says no, and they want the super shears, but they like both, you say, you know, Miss Abby, tell you what, I have a really good deal for you, and I don't even have to call the office. I know how it works. I just learned it from my manager. If you get that homemaker today, instead of just the super shears, just because it's my contest period, I'll give you both the super shears and the kitchen tool set. But if you have to get it today. So what do you think? Okay. So if some of you that's new, that's okay. All right. So you can that's basics. Now let me show you the Gamboa stuff. So you give away 20 points. How many of you have given away points to get something a sale? Okay. Now this is really important. You actually can do that. No one knows that unless you come to my meeting. Okay. So this is one of those. It's a secret. One of those. If you go to Just Me, what you learn, you say you had to be there, and they're wondering why you're selling so much. Okay. So 30. Now you're probably wondering if you're like I am. I don't like to give points if I don't have to. So what do you think when I split that up? You go. What are you thinking, Jeff? Why would I give what? So many points for free. Watch. 60-40. 60-40. Here's the ratio. Rex. Sale. Okay. Watch this. CPO Rex. Sale. Okay, so for example, you can give 30 points for free for every 100. Remember that. Okay. So let's just say I have an order and I'm able to give 200 points for free. Roughly. Okay, let's say whatever the order is, I have 200. Well, I'll use the homemaker. I can give 240 points, but what did you just learn? It's 30. So it's 12 times 3, 25, 36. So I actually can give away 360 points. And you're thinking, Jeff, what? Why would I? You crazy? And I'm on a 12-12 order. Why would I give away? That puts me in less than 1,000. That's crazy. Smart business. Watch. So of my 360, okay, I would never give all of the 360 away to close that homemaker sale. I'd rather drop down to a galley. Here's why. If I do close the homemaker, let's say I do make the sale, I will probably give 120 points away, maybe 150. In other words, I'll save some of the points. So this could get me a kitchen tool set. This could get me an entertainment pack. This could get me a pair of scissors and 2 peelers. That's the most I'll give out of the 360 for the sale. But let's say Miss Abby buys the homemaker and I gave her the entertainment pack. So now those points are gone. How many points do I have left over? I have 180 points. Oh no, I'm sorry. 150.
210.
210? 210. Sorry. I have 210 points left over. Here's the magic. So Miss Abby just got a homemaker from me. I just hooked her up with the entertainment pack. That's why my points are gone here. I still have 210. So she starts writing down the sponsors. Oh, thank you so much. Now write down anyone that you think won't buy, but it's nice, will help me for the scholarship. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, can you get the unicorn or the smiley? Okay, thank you so much. Oh, Miss Abby, actually, if you get the full 20 and get the 2 sponsors, I'm actually authorized to give you more product. Remember that vegetable peeler you really like? I can throw that in for free. It's so funny. All of a sudden, they know people and are comfortable recommending people. Abby will say, oh, sure. Oh, she'll be great. All of us, magically, they know more people, right? It's magic. It's not magic. What happened? Now they have something in it for them. And watch what happens. So 20 recommendations. She got a veggie peeler. What's the points in a veggie peeler?
45.
Is it 45 points?
Yeah.
Okay. So 45 points. I have about 160 points left over. Keep going. So she gets to 18, 19. Oh, Miss Abby, you're going to get the peeler. Oh, by the way, I can keep going. And they always say this. What do you got? I say, oh, Miss Jo, I have more free stuff. I can keep going. What do you have? Well, if you go ahead, remember that ice cream scoop you really like? How many points is that? Another 45 or so. There's 120. And I got another 20 recommendations. And then do another item for about the same price. There's 20 recommendations. And another item for about the same, about the same. I have no more points. Okay. I sold a homemaker plus 8. I know all my points are down and my CPO is really low, but I got a homemaker plus 8. I have 100 recommendations from a lady who wanted and got the homemaker plus 8. And what's she going to say to all their friends? Oh, yeah, this is awesome. And he hooks you up when you recommend people. Oh, and he was awesome because he gave me 7 things for free.
That's genius.
And I got 100 people who she's going to tell that I did that to.
That was it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was it.
Watch. This is where you. So Miss Abby, thanks, Miss Abby.
That was great.
So she recommended me to Miss Alex. I walk into Miss Alex. Hi, Miss Alex. Oh, hi, sweetie. Yeah. So I get word for word. I get this all the time. So when do I write names down? I want to get the stuff that Abby got. Oh man, this is amazing! And they start writing down names. Lisa Buck was my customer. Lisa Buck. I walked in. She was recommended by Peggy Lewis. Okay, anyone know the NFL fans? Cincinnati Bengals? Who's the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals? His name is Marvin Lewis. His wife is Peggy Lewis, and they're friends from our church. And his daughter was my brother's high school sweetheart. So close friends from church, right? We didn't even care about he's an NFL coach. He was just friends from church. And Miss Peggy recommended me to her whole neighborhood. So I walk into Miss Lisa Buck's house. The first recommendation, Miss Lisa goes, "Hey, honey, you want food? Okay, I got food for you. Oh, look, I already know. I want what Peggy got, and here's the 100 names. I want the same thing."
So good.
I think I'm gonna cry. Right? Who would love that? Who would love that? I already know recommendations are coming. I know that if I hook you up, you hook me up, and I already know what I want to buy. Here's my rule, though. Don't be stingy with the points if it helps you get recommendations. In fact, sometimes I would turn in orders. Back in the day, we didn't have Rollo online, so you'd have to turn in your orders. And I would go to the office, and then say Lewis was one of my friends from the office. I'd look at the order, and I would have a homemaker, and all 300 points were gone. And they would laugh and go, "Oh my gosh, 300, man, you got worked on that appointment." And I would just laugh and say, I didn't get worked at all. In fact, I gave 0 things away for free to sell that 12-12 homemaker. But I gave all 360 away, and I have 200 recommendations in my bag right now.
It mathematically makes sense.
And mathematically, I got 200 recommendations from a homemaker customer who's going to rave about me and the free stuff.
Yeah. This is so good. This is so good.
Okay. This is one of the main reasons I always had people to call. And you know what's better about this? I qualified all of these. So not only did I have more people to call, I always knew who the best ones were, who cooked a lot, had a big house, had kids, loved to cook, liked nice things, and were nice. Okay? And we didn't have text back then. You used to get charged per text back in the day. I'm that old. I'm like 55 years old. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Does that help? Light bulbs from that one? Let me hear.
Yes.
Okay. How many of you think of customers that you sold a decent set or one of the larger sets to, and you could have used this instead of being greedy with the points?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now you know. Okay.
This is great.
You ready? Now, you guys like that 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 12 tip? Okay. Now I'm going to give you a 15, 16, 17 on a scale of 10 to tip. Okay? And then I'll stop there because your heads will explode.
Yep.
Keep going, man.
You guys want the 20, 21, 22?
Yes, I can take it.
Come Tuesday to the division meeting next
Okay.
week. Seriously.
And where is it?
It's going to be in this area. I'll give you the details. Your manager should know. Okay. And if you went to SC1, think of SC1 as a galley set. This is a signature. And then SC2 is the complete, of course. Okay. So you guys remember this. Ready? You guys remember this? What's this from?
Drop down.
Drop down. Okay. You have the homemaker. How many table knives?
Let's see.
Okay. The signatures. How many? 10. And then the complete.
12.
This is if you
Have to.
have to. What's this
Like
one?
to.
Like to and absolutely
Love.
love to. We
Want the
only
best.
buy the best. You guys know that. Okay. And that's right here. You guys know homemaker, signature, complete. Have to, like to, love to. How many pieces are different between the homemaker and signature?
3.
Yeah, 3 tools. And you should look that up because you're going to be professionals and rehearse. You got it.
Basics.
Then, if you want to, you go to the galley for 6 table knives. I think the galley is the perfect set for when someone says no to the homemaker because they have buyer's remorse and they just bought something that's an investment and they can't say yes, but they want Cutco. They feel better about themselves for going less than 12. That's what I think this is. Okay. Or this is just someone who hates cooking but wants Cutco. Like they want a good product. Well, take out the carving set, take out the knife for hard stuff. You got the galley. Okay. And then if you need to, there are starter sets. Okay. You guys, this is all review. There are 8 starter sets, the smaller ones. I honestly don't think these are great sets for families, but some people will drop down to that. And then I don't love this, but we have 3 to 5 tools you can customize. Now remember, between pieces or sets, what do you want to sell them? Yeah, who can remind me why sets are better? Give me one reason.
Right tool for the right
Better
job.
deal.
Better deal, just discounted.
Right tool for the right
Right
job.
tool for the right job, Harry. Okay. It's safer because it comes in a wood block, Julio. You get free stuff, and what can you do with the payments?
Interest.
Yeah,
Monthly
it's just a
investment.
better value. It's a better value for the customer. So you always want to be here and above. But watch this. The average order is $300. What I'm going to do with this one technique, this one tip, is going to help increase your average order by $200 to $300. It's really simple. It's a light bulb where you go, oh my gosh, really? Okay. What's the first set we teach you to sell?
Homemaker.
To present the price on.
Our most basic set.
12. Okay, you guys know this. Mrs. Jones, I wouldn't be doing my job today if I didn't ask you this question. Did you want to go ahead and get the homemaker, Miss Kate, and get the free stuff? Cool. If they say no, okay, no problem. Let me call my office real quick. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You say no problem. What was it about the homemaker you weren't sure of? Was it too much for the price or too many options? Okay, cool. Let me call my office real quick. Okay. And Luke will tell you, okay, drop down. Okay, let me show you the galley. And you drop down all the way through. The average order is $300. Some people think that the average order is $300 because that's an average amount of Cutco. But you know the prices now. What's $300 get you?
Not even 3 knives.
Like that? 3 or 4 knives? Is that a set?
No.
Would you say that's an average set of Cutco?
No.
No, we have a set. That's the average set of Cutco for people who cook 2 to 3 times a week. What's that called?
Homemaker.
That's an average amount of Cutco. It's 12. So how in the world is the average order 300? In fact, 300 doesn't even get them through the kitchen. You can get a spatula, a trimmer, a petite carver, and a peeler, and maybe one other small table knife for $300. Not even a good deal, actually. Right? It's not even a good deal. So how's the average order 300? Well, it's not because of the average amount of Cutco. Customers have to say no 4 to 5 times before they say yes, and that's not just for Cutco products. Customers need to say no, and I want you to write this down. This is huge consumer psychology. Customers need to say no 4 to 5 times before they say yes. I'm going to ask my team because I trained you and I know you. One of the nicknames of our Cutco team in Fort Lauderdale is we're the Louis Vuitton Tory Burch team. You wanna know why? Because we have a lot of girls that like those purses and shoes. I think they're very pretty, they're very cute. Okay. We have a lot of shoppers in our Cutco office. They love to shop. Any shoppers here overall? Okay. You like to shop? No. Okay. You ever gone shopping? And guys too. I like shopping too, but obviously not for Tory Burch and Louis Vuitton. When you go shopping, you ever gone somewhere and you said, I'm not buying, and you said, no, I'm not going to buy that skirt, shoe, purse, basketball shoes, Beats by Dre, whatever. And you're about to walk out and you say, well, we have another color. And you go, oh, well, can I see? No, I really shouldn't. You can try them on. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Wow. Yeah. And then you get the friend approval. Hey, you listen too. Right? Because you just want them to say what?
Do it.
Yeah, yes, let's do it. And you said no 4 or 5 times, but how many of you have been in that situation and you walked out with the product though? Yeah. Consumer psychology, not Cutco psychology. Consumer psychology says you say no 4 or 5 times before you're comfortable saying yes to something. So ready? Watch the magic. This is the logic, and I'll show you the magic. So the logic is if you start with 12-12, when you say no 4 or 5 times, that's $300. That's why your average order is 300. Because you start with 12-12, if you say no 4 or 5 times, you're at 3 or 4 pieces, that's the average order. So in theory, this is funny. In theory, if you started with the whole book, ready? So the 3 sets we want to sell are the Homemaker Signature Complete. 12-12, little over 1,800, a little over 2,400, depending on the steak knives. In theory, you can start with the biggest thing that we sell. It's called the Cutco Kitchen. Okay. Okay, the Cutco Kitchen is pretty simple. Here's the Cutco Kitchen. You get a set of Cutco. You get one of these 3. Okay. You get cookware, which is pots and pans. And you get flatware. What's flatware?
The sexy stuff.
Yeah, it's sexy. It is sexy, yes. Okay. Okay. So, kitchen is you pick one of these 3. Usually it's one of these 2. Okay. In fact, usually when you get a kitchen, it's this one. Okay. Then you pick their set of cookware. Okay. Small, medium, large. And then they pick how many sets of forks and spoons to match. Stainless steel. This stuff is sick. Okay. That is anywhere between 4,000 7,000, okay? If these 3 sets, 1,200, 1,800, 2,400, imagine that as, and for my office, it's like buying a 13, a 15, or 17-inch what? MacBook Pro. It's like buying a television. Okay? I'll tell you why later. I just bought 10 televisions. You'll see why.
10?
Wink, wink. So I'll tell you later. About 10 42-inch. We just acquired 10 42-inch flat screens. You'll see why later.
Jeff, I'm trying to get it. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I just bought 10 flat screens. Okay. All right. Anyway, don't pay attention to that. Sorry, my bad. This is just an appliance. Getting a Cutco kitchen is like getting a small deck or a small pool for your house, or a small addition, or a small renovation. Okay. Ask your parents what it costs to renovate the floor in 1 room. What's that? Okay. That's all it is. Okay. In theory, if you say no 4 or 5 times, you should start with this. You say no 4 or 5 times, you sell at least a complete set. And your average order is not going to be 300, it's going to be 2,500. But you're too new to do that. And if you try to do that, I think you'll overwhelm customers. I do teach how to do this, by the way, next week. Okay, I will teach this next week if you're interested. In theory, you could say, would you like to get the kitchen? Oh, no, that's a little too much for me. Okay, well, we can take out the forks and spoons. Oh, no, still, Jeff, that's too much, sweetie. Okay, we'll take out the pots and pans. Oh, no. How about just the complete? Oh, that's still a little bit much. How about we just drop down just for the one that people that like to cook? It's like only got 3 more knives than the Homemaker. Yeah, we'll just start with that. I'm more comfortable starting with that. Starting. Let's get the smaller one. Yeah, that one's better. I don't want to go too big yet. It's all because of where you started. You guys, I guess you're going to get the logic
Yes.
here? I don't want you to start with this until I teach this to you next week. In theory, you should start with the complete, because if you say no, you're around here 4 or 5 times. That's still a little bit too high if you're under $15,000 in sales. But I'll still show you next week. I'm going to create a set right here in the sweet spot between these two called the kitchen system or the kitchen starter. Either one. Kitchen system or kitchen starter. And here's what this set is. This is a set that's a little bit higher than 12-12 so that your starting point is higher so that when they say no 4 or 5 times, what happens? What is also higher? Your ending point is higher, okay? And when you understand what's happening, give me the biggest light bulb. It's funny. Watch. Miss Abby and Mr. Valdi, at twice the quality and value, you're talking twice the price. At twice the price, you're talking over $4,000 for your set of Cutco, okay? But let me show you what you get. So this is our average set for people who cook 2 to 3 times a week called the Homemaker. It has everything you need for a basic set. It has the 10 tools, 8 table knives. It comes at the bottom of the wood block, and it also has the sharpener for the straight edge knives. That set comes in what we call the kitchen system. So you've got the Homemaker. It also comes with the kitchen tools, and it comes with the super shears. Stop. The beautiful thing is that that set is not over $4,000. Any light bulbs? Yeah, I'll go back to it. As a matter of fact, the set's not even as much as the wool stuff on sale, which is $1,999. Okay. That kitchen system is only $1,567. Now, what's cool is we have a 5-month interest-free payment plan, where instead of all at once, we also can do it for $338. That's with shipping and tax. And we have a buy now bonus. So Miss Abby, if you decide to get that today, I can give you up to $200 in accessories for free. So Miss Abby, I wouldn't be doing my job today if I didn't ask you, did you want to go ahead and get the kitchen system? And you can pick out $200 worth of free stuff. Okay, so stuff. What did I do? I just made a set. Okay, we call that bundling. This is called the kitchen system. It's a Homemaker. And I just added the kitchen tool set price. I just added the super shear price, and it's $1,567. Later on, when you get really advanced, I do what's called a fishing system. Homemaker, kitchen tools, shears, fisherman solution. I have the military system. Homemaker, kitchen tool set, shears, K-bar. I have the barbecue system. Blah, 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 barbecue. I'm just bundling bigger sets.
Thank you. Thank you.
That exploding yet? And getting it so far?
Yes.
Keep it really simple. Mrs. Jones, Homemaker plus 8, plus the kitchen tools and shears is called the kitchen system. Beautiful thing. It's the same closing. Beautiful thing. It's not over $4,000. It's not as much as wool stuff on sale for $1,999. The Homemaker kitchen system is only $1,567. And on the payment plan, it's only $338. And even if you gave everything away for free, let's say they say yes to that. Well, you're welcome, because instead of $1,212, it's $1,500. Let's say you give all the points away for free.
It's like a Homemaker.
It's still $1,300, not $1,212. So if you give everything for free, you still get a $1,300 or $1,400 sale. But that's not the point. The point is, okay, let's say you sell that. That's great. Cool. Doing the job. And they say no. And you say, Mrs. Jones, I'll tell you what. The kitchen system is the Homemaker, the kitchen tools, and the super shears. I'll just take one of the pieces out to make it one more no. Miss Taylor, tell you what. How about this? Of the two, which one did you think you'd use the more? The kitchen tool set or the super shears?
Shears.
Shears, okay. So let's just take out the kitchen tool set. Let me see. Yeah, that one is only blank. And per month, it's only blank. Did you want to get that? And I can still give you $100 for free. No? Okay. Tell you what. How about this? Let's just do the real basic set. You can just start with the knives, the Homemaker, just to get your feet wet with Cutco. Just to start. And sometimes they'll go, yeah, you know, I don't want to buy a set like that. Let's just get the knives to start.
Okay.
12-12. Okay. Let's say they still don't like that. I'll take the 12-12 and I'll say, Mr. Jones, tell you what, we have a discount today. What I can do is if you decide to get it today, instead of 12-12, I can give you two for 9. Give you the basic, the discount. They still say no, you go to the galley. Here's the cool thing. They say no 5 times on the kitchen system, you're still selling a galley or a starter set. When they say no 5 times to you, you're selling 3 dinky pieces.
This is great.
If that was a light bulb for you, please, let me hear it. Okay, so that's the concept. We just start a little bit higher, so you end a little bit higher.
Jesus.
Okay, and ready? All you have to know is that 1567 is kitchen tool set, homemaker, and super shears. If they say no to that, and you have to figure out what the prices are, you're new. Just call us. Hey, Luke, it's Nikki. I'm calling from my 5 o'clock with Mrs. Gamboa. Good. Hey, I just showed them the kitchen system. Hey, I want to know, what does it cost if I take up the kitchen tools? Let us do the math for you. Why does that also come across better to the customer when you take the time to call the office?
You're a student.
You're helping them. Hey, let me call the manager to see what I can do. And if they still say no, okay, then you go to the homemaker. How does the homemaker look now when you say, you want to just get the homemaker?
It looks smaller.
Yeah. On this system, you'll end here versus here.
This is genius.
Yep. All right, cool. Go through your notes. Give me your favorite tips or what helped you the last. Okay, here we go. Gosh, Julia.
I think this kitchen starter set would actually help me out when I sold the homemaker to someone.
Okay.
I wanted just to buy the basic.
Yeah, and just to be clear, the kitchen system is not inside your price list. Everyone see that? You guys real quick, listen up. There's no kitchen system code. The code, what you do in Rollo is homemaker plus 8, kitchen tools, super shears. Add them all 3. And then what do you get? How do you know I can give 200 for free? The bonus points work out. Okay, other takeaways. Go ahead, Lewis.
So my favorite 2 parts were the 1640, and I love how you could just split a certain amount just for the sale, and then for the recommendations as an incentive. And then this bundling is just genius.
Yeah, and this is easy bundle. Next week I'll teach you how to bundle up here. Oh, that gets really fun. And next week I'm also going to show you, if you have the right setup, how you start with that, and it makes the complete look like a studio set. Like I have customers that go, "Oh, honey, I'm sorry I couldn't help you. I mean, I'll get that." Okay. By the way, are they getting a great product?
Yeah.
Okay. How often will they use it?
Every day.
How long does it last?
Forever.
Yeah. The goal is not to make a lot of money off your friends and family, but if you do it right, it's a byproduct of servicing great people and great products. That's the most important thing. If you genuinely believe, I think 2 of you are asking about enthusiasm. If you genuinely believe that these knives are amazing and change people's lives and changes their financial situation, which it does, you sell way more because people buy your enthusiasm and belief. If you think you're just a college student suckering friends and family to sell knives, to buy knives, you don't sell that much. Right? And I'll go around for tips one more time. I'm now 21 summers into Cutco. I started when I was 19. I know the whole I look 20 joke. It's not really true, okay? I started when I was 19 years old. There are people my first summer when I was number 1 in the whole company that bought a set of Cutco from me. A lot of people, $76,000 worth. Probably, I don't even know how many homemakers and big sets. They still have those sets. And when I go home to Baltimore, my mom is still in Baltimore. My siblings are up closer up to there, near Wilmington, Delaware. My fiance's in Delaware for the next 8 months until she comes down here permanently. I go to Baltimore all the time. I see customers all the time from 1997, 1998, 1999. You know, I still hear, "Oh, honey, are you still with Cutco?" And I think they don't get it. I'm with Cutco permanently, but I don't know if they think I'm still in college or something. "Are you still doing Cutco?" Yeah. "Oh my gosh, those knives." And I get these stories at church. I get these stories at the picnics. I get these stories at my mom's house when my aunt walks in and she goes, "There's Mr. Cutco." Right? I love those knives. Or now, right now, they're 20 years, 15 years. "Oh, I just sent them back, Jim." I'll get text messages. "I just sent back the knives for the first time since when you were a little college kid. And they're so sharp now. In fact, I just cut myself." Yeah, they do that. Okay? Cool. What's my main point? You got to believe. Okay? More. What other takeaways? What was your light bulb?
Definitely not being afraid to give away points for the recommendations.
Yeah. How many of you feel like you want more recommendations? Yeah. You have a system that can help you do that when you make sales. Okay, cool. Other Abraham.
Definitely the consumer psychology of the 4 to 5 no's.
Yeah, I think when I was new, whenever I heard a no, I always had this even I sometimes probably showed it. Inside I went, ugh. But now, because I'm an educated sales trainer and now you guys are educated salespeople, when someone says no, it's just one less no. I'm serious. No, I'm serious. When someone says no, it's one less no. If you go to a really, 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 really high-end department store, right? I mean more like a Nordstrom wouldn't even be this high. Neiman Marcus. Okay, Neiman Marcus is very expensive, okay? When I go in there, I go, wow, it smells expensive in here, okay? Neiman Marcus, when they train their salespeople to ask, not high pressure, but to ask multiple times, because when people, they know when you say no 4 or 5 times, car salespeople, good car salespeople, home realtors, they all do the same thing. So did you want to get this house? No? Okay, well, hey, good luck to you. No! Let me show you a different option. How about this one? Okay, well, how about this one? Oh, you know, you didn't like that? I'm sorry. Let me get away from those. You wanted the pool? Oh, let me show you the ones with the pool. I'm so sorry. Let me help you out. You want this one? Yeah, that was 4 or 5 no's. Before I bought my first house, I said no 10 times to the same house. not including all the other ones I didn't buy. My first house when I bought it, I said no 10 times. Got it? Other light bulbs. Go ahead.
The point system for the kitchen system set, when you broke it all down, you have to give away those 200 points. That's still, I think, $88 more.
Yeah, exactly. It's still higher. It's better for them. It's higher for you still. Good. Over here, Sean.
Start higher and higher.
Then I start higher and higher. Yeah, and then tomorrow next week at the division meeting, I'll teach you how to go even higher than the kitchen system. I just want to go little by little. What you're noticing I'm trying to do is set you up so you become really advanced by the time we get to July. Because and this is how I'm going to wrap up the meeting. Because July is our SC2 push, and I want you to be really lights out, trained, excited, and advanced by then. Cool. Other takeaways. Other light bulb. How about you? I trained you. What's big for you?
Definitely the Rex.
Yeah, the points for Rex. Okay.
Yeah.
So simple, right? So simple. Harry.
Enhanced drop-down options.
Yeah, being aware of how this works. Okay. Good. Good stuff. Now ready? When you leave today, don't say thank you, Jeff, for the information. It doesn't mean anything to me if you don't use it. Use it. Okay, use it and text me. I'm gonna give you my phone number. Text me all these hot updates, and I'll text you back. Wow, you're getting on the radar. That's how you thank me. Okay, so let's do this. Let's wrap up. Brand new sheet of paper, and I'll get you out of here a couple minutes early. Is that cool? And if you're in my office, this is a chance for you to go to a quick break, get something to eat, and you come back for advanced training. And by the way, if you're in my office, tonight's the last. Everyone, if you're in advanced training tonight, it's your last advanced training. You don't have any more advanced trainings, so you're only here Sundays and Wednesdays from here on out. Okay, so notice you're getting more and more information. What can you go to for more training? The morning 10K coaching in the Champions Club. Okay. Number 1, use this info. Right? Number 1, use this info, but only put 3 tips at a time. So every presentation, I think Alex said earlier, I feel like every presentation is getting better. It is, but only put 3 of the tips you learned today at a time. Anyone know why?
You'll get overwhelmed.
You'll get overwhelmed and you don't execute it right anyway. Okay? So let me give you the first 3 I want you to do, just right away. Okay? I always say start with these 3, big 3. Okay? The open, close, start. Mrs. Jones, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Before we start, can I say thank you? Okay, I'm going to show you Cutco. Have you heard of it today? Oh, you do? Oh, you know this is awesome. I really love this stuff. But I'm not a nice salesperson. The reason I'm working with Cutco is blank, so I want to share that with you. Do you mind if I share with you my goals? You share your goals, okay? Because I always want you to start off strong. Second, okay? I want you to use points to get Rex. I want you to use points to get Rex. Okay. Okay. Number 3. Kitchen system. Okay, start with 1567. You guys already got the payment plans, right? Put it back up here. It's $338 if you're in Miami-Dade County because sales tax is higher. It's $335 a month if you're everywhere else. So it's 1567, $338 in Miami-Dade County, $335 everywhere else. The sales tax is a little bit higher down there. Okay. 1567 for. So this is just the 1212 plus the 100 something super shares.
Yeah, 112.
112, and then the kitchen tools. That's all that is. Okay. 338 or 335. Once you feel good about these three, usually it takes 2 to 3 appointments. Put in the next tip. My next one I would do is something to do with recommendations. Either the 4 questions, the magic phrase, the smiley, or the handbag. Okay, and I'll reread this again because this is my doctor handwriting. Okay. The next thing I would do is anything that has to do with recommendations. The 4 questions, the magic phrase of Better Business Bureau, I'm going to ask you later for recommendations. The smiley, so buy some stickers, or the handbag. Who do you know that's not going to buy, but they're nice? Okay, quick question. Oh, come see me after. Okay, here we go. So that's my first tip. So far, so good. So we're only going to do how many? How many?
3.
Only 3 tips. What should you do before you do the next presentation?
Rehearse.
Rehearse. Okay, good. Second thing. Ready? Second thing. Be at the next event. Okay, and let me tell you the next 2 events. The next event, you can write this down, is our division meeting. Our division meeting is next week. It's going to be here in Broward County. So it'll be actually in Sunrise, Florida. Your manager will give you all the details. If you're from here, it's by Sawgrass Mills Mall. Okay. If you're not from here, it's probably 20 minutes west of here. About the same distance. Okay. Here's what's great. This meeting is designed for 3 reasons. I want you to write down the 3 reasons. Number 1, it's designed to obviously give you more training and more sales expertise. So more advanced training. That's the first part. Number 2, it's the next step in getting interested, looked at, or how to get into TLA. Raise your hand if TLA was on your hit list of things that you're excited about. Okay, this is the next checkpoint. I'll give you the times in a second. Some of you are asking for that. This is the next way to learn about how to get an interview for TLA. Number 3, this is where you put yourself on the radar, because if you're at the event, I know that you're looking to learn. I also know to pay attention to you week to week. We don't have these meetings all the time. If you just started, I know it seems like there are always these meetings, but this is the summer. After Tuesday, there are no more meetings. All it is sell like crazy, earn your spot for a TLA interview, make all the promotions you want, and the next event's not till the end of July. Okay, so this is going to be Tuesday. Okay. And there's going to be 2 versions. Okay, there's an early session. Okay. There's an early session that starts at 10:30, and this is if you want to have 10K coaching. This means either if you're looking to have a big fast start, if you're new, or you're looking to have a big 10K or $15,000 or $20,000 push week for July. That's the extra coaching. Okay. If you're not sure if that's for you, then I would say you should come to check it out, and then you can decide if you want to go for a big 10K, 10K, 20K, 30K push for SC2. But at least come for the information. Ready? I don't know if this is going to get you there, but I'm doing my presentation live. Like I'm going to do a full presentation of how I really do it. But anyone be interested, you can record it, you can take your phones, and you can drool all night and do your Cutco notes. Oh my God, look at that. Oh, wow. Does that help? Okay, so that's the early session. Then, that's the early session. There's going to be a lunch break there, okay? And we're right by the Sawgrass Mills Malls. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And then the next section, I believe, let me make sure so you guys don't write down the wrong notes.
So 2:30.
I'm sorry, 2 o'clock. Okay, 2 o'clock is the rest of the meeting where you learn about TLA and then more tips. Okay. Also, for those of you that are interested in becoming a branch manager, I'm going to give you a chance to meet 4 branch managers and hear their story and how they earned the spot. If you're interested in TLA and maybe not branch manager, I'll teach you how to get into those interviews for TLA. Okay, and then we end by 7:30. And then you're ready to rock and roll. Okay? So talk to your manager about that. Okay? Last few tips. Okay? Yeah. So 10:30 is the early session. 2 o'clock to 7:30 is the rest of the meeting. And that's the last meeting for the next month and a half. Okay? Talk to your manager. So, a couple things. Next thing I want you to write down is get invited to key staff. So when you leave here today, now I would say if you're here, go talk to Luke, but Luke's busy. So if you see him, if you're from my office, raise your hand. When you see Luke, I want you to text him, but make eye contact. Luke. So he knows. Make sure he's looking for your text. I want you to text your manager the following. How do I get on key staff? Tell me about key staff. How do I get on the radar for TLA? If that's something you're interested in. Okay. How do I get invited to Atlanta, the big conference for the entire East Coast? See, Tuesdays for everyone. There's no cost. It's open invitation. So everyone who's actually willing to work and wants to get better will come. SC2, you have to be invited. The SC2 is our road trip. We're taking the whole Florida team up to Atlanta. It's a big competition. You're going to meet the best of the best. And it's the next step in officially learning how to get interviewed for TLA. So this meeting on Tuesday will show you how to get a spot, what you need to do. SC2 in Atlanta. I'll give you the dates right now. It's July 28th and 29th. July 28th and 29th. If you're invited to that, it means you're already in the next step of potentially getting to TLA. So text your manager, number one. How do I get on? Key staff. How do I hear about or get into? And the last thing is how do I get invited to SC2? Those are the things I want you to text. Last thing. I think this is the most important. I want to say thanks for all of you that are working hard. Here's a conference from SC2 last year. So this is some of our, if you went to SC1, we had 200 people at SC1. Raise your hand if you were there last week. That was 200 people. This is going to have 1,300 people. So it's going to take, imagine Florida United and the other 5 divisions that are our size. It's going to be awesome. Okay. So if you notice, see this row, the amount of people that were SC1 is just going to be our section in the convention center. It's going to be awesome. And you know that big emoji with the U sign? Yeah, someone's going to have that. It'll be cool. And you notice, depending on the venue, this thing is huge. It's awesome. And these are just some pictures of our past teams. But there's a competition called the SC2 Push coming up. So I want you to write down next. Get ready for the competition. Okay? Get ready for the competition. Now, I even want you to write down Super Bowl. You don't even have to like football to know that the Super Bowl is the biggest game of the year for football. Okay? The Super Bowl of our company, the entire year, are the 18 days before SC2 in Atlanta. So Atlanta is at 7/28. The push week starts on July 10th. Okay, the push week starts, you can write this down, it's July 10th. Okay. So we'll go July 10th all the way until Atlanta. Okay. There are going to be contests that I'm announcing for that contest. Like those of you that missed your VIP night, wink, wink, this is going to be your chance to win that, okay? Other, I can't even tell you. The TVs might have something to do with it too, okay? So, hint, hint. 10 of them, 10 televisions, okay? So, here's my special invitation to you. I can't invite you to SC2 yet. Your manager has to talk to me. We only have limited spots for the road trip, for the hotel. Everyone is invited next week to Tuesday. If you're in this room, you're invited to my meeting next week. That's cool. If you really want to get invited to SC2, really talk to, hey, how do I get a spot? How do I get reserved? How can I definitely be part of that Atlanta trip? And I can tell you, everyone who gets to Atlanta, those are the people that get interviews for TLA. Those are the people that make the most money. You don't want to miss that, okay? Last 2 tips, or last 2 final thoughts. Personal recruits, I want you to go to Jamaica. I really do. I really want you to go to Jamaica. I don't host a bad party. Ask anyone that went to my VIP night last week. And I also don't chaperone a bad trip to Jamaica. Right? Heidi and I, don't worry. We know when to leave. That's why I'm a good chaperone. When you guys are starting to have fun, I go, oh, we'll just go now. Everyone behave. Okay? We know. We just look out, make sure everyone's safe. Okay? And we host an awesome time. We're going to go to Dunn Rivers Falls. If you've been to Jamaica, there are these falls where you get to go up. Everyone puts your swim trunks on and your bathing suits, and you get to go climb up the falls. It's one of the wonders of the world. It's not actually one, but beautiful scenery. Not to mention all-inclusive food, and I love food. And I love when it's all-inclusive, which means you don't have to stop. That's the kind of food I like. Okay, and it's already included. Okay, the pool, Heidi and I are more of the beach, so you'll find us at the beach. Come lay out with us, and help us get 3 shades darker. Okay, come join us, or at the pool because everyone's by the pool bar and having fun. But I really want to have you be part of that because one of the biggest parts of the Vector experience is travel. And it's one thing, I know some of you come from backgrounds where you travel all the time. I was blessed. I grew up, I traveled all the time growing up. but not like this. Not where it's all people my age, not all people who are performers, not all people where I can network and meet people across the company. And it's, of course, Jamaica for free. So anytime you can get people onto the team, that's why when you did the triple threat, don't make that a one-time thing. I would do that every time you get to your office, because and Kate did it last week. And from that, every time she does it, she's getting more people to help her get to Jamaica. But also, help bring people to the team. That also is a way to get on my radar. If I know that you're someone who can build a team and someone who, maybe your sales aren't quite at 30-30 yet, but I know that you're building, that really says a lot about promotions and someone we'd want in TLA. But I think it's important to talk about how you explain the job. Because if you tell your friends, hey bro, I'm selling knives, they're awesome. First of all, don't say, hey bro, it's not professional. But number two, it's not really gonna get people excited. Would you agree with that? Like for example, a friend of mine, he had saved as a colleague of mine, and his whole life, his father had passed, and the dream car his dad always wanted and never got was a Porsche 911 C4S, aka fast sports car. So he walks into Porsche. He had done really well for himself, saved money. He walked in ready to buy his dad's dream car to honor his dad. Walks in, all of a sudden the guy goes, hey, welcome to Porsche. How can I help you? And he says, I want to buy a car today. Big moment in his life, right? Honor his dad. $80,000 sports car, right? I want to buy a Porsche today. Oh, I want to buy a car today. He goes, I'm sorry, sir. We can't help you. I'm sorry. No, you might not be listening. I'm here. I want to buy a car. I heard you, sir. I'm sorry to say I don't think we can help you today. A little irritated now, right? I'm sorry. I don't know what your problem is. I'm mad. I want to buy a car. And I'm here, and you're giving me a hard time. I want a car. What's your problem? Sir, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to make you mad. If you want a car, I can't help you. But if you want to buy a Porsche today, I'm your guy.
Ooh.
We don't sell cars here. We sell Porsche. Ready? Porsche. You don't sell knives. So stop saying that. You sell Cutco. It's different, isn't it? We don't sell knives. You can go to Walmart. You buy knives. Go to Williams-Sonoma. You can get really nice knives. They're called Wusthof. They're really nice knives. We sell Cutco. And when you believe it like that, it changes how you do the job. Oh yeah, I'm selling knives for the summer. That's your paychecks don't look like that. Versus, I work with Cutco, and the product is this, and it's awesome. Not to mention, I can get this, and TLA. When you really believe what the opportunity is, not only do you get more people on the team, you get more for you. Any light bulbs on that one? Yeah, so stop saying selling knives, because if you treat it like that, you're gonna get I'm selling knives paychecks. And you're gonna get I'm selling knives resume experience, which isn't TLA. Okay? And last thing, I don't throw a bad party, so get to my party. I do a VIP night. This was the one we did in Brickell. Actually, I'm gonna show pictures later of the actual, we have actual pictures from this past weekend, but we're gonna do one in Atlanta. And we're gonna take over, the goal is to have a toast at the top of the rooftop bar of the W Hotel to kick off the VIP night. That sounds like fun, right? Okay. So let me give you my number. Number one, please do not share my phone number with other people, because the rule in our division is that you have to go to a meeting to get Jeff's number. So if someone's not willing to come here or come to an event, they shouldn't have access. Because remember, in business, it's not what you know, it's who you know, but protect that for yourself, okay? So let me give you why I'm giving you my phone number. I want to get you on my radar. That means if you're interested in TLA, you're interested in doing Cutco through college, I'm the guy that gets you into TLA. And notice there are 35 people here, another 30 people online, 70 people watching this event. I've run 6 of these this summer. Do the math. Then there was SC1. Who went to SC1? Add some of those people. Do the math. What am I showing you? There's a lot of people. Several hundred people. I'm only interviewing 100 to 150. We only have 75 to 100 spots. Okay? I'm giving you my phone number so you can show off to me, respectfully and humbly, by the way, so you can let me know what's going on. I want to hear sales. I want you to write down in your notes, CPO talks, not just attitude. Attitude is great, but if you have a great attitude, but you can't sell Cutco, it's not someone we can have in Leadership Academy. If you love and are enthusiastic about basketball, but you're terrible, you still won't make the team. I love basketball. You're terrible. You won't make the team. You have to be able to hit buckets, right? You have to be able to make shots. Okay. Here are my rules for texting. I don't care when you text me. I don't think it's rude late at night because my phone's already in the kitchen. I don't look at my phone past 7 p.m. anyway. It's off. It's silent. It won't bother me. So there's no. Oh, I don't want to disrespect Jeff and Heidi. It's our phone has gone away from the two of us, both of ours by 7. Okay. When you leave a text, number 1, leave your full name and leave your office. Even if you're from my office, I know it seems weird. This is Abby, and I know who Abby is, but leave your name, full name, and the office, so I can. And I have a spreadsheet. Okay, and when you text me the first time, I start the spreadsheet with your name, and the more updates you get, the better. If you're from Fort Myers, Tristan and Pierre are on my radar. Okay, if you're from Metro Miami, it's Jose, Carlos Palayo, Gabe Campo, Eric Palacio. Those are some people on my radar. If you're from our office, it's Josie Daco, it's Chase Winston, it's Malloy, it's Malcolm, Jeremy Williams. Those are the people that are on my radar. You want to get on my radar as much as possible. So text me updates. Here's my rule of thumb though. Ask your manager if you think it's worth texting. Okay. Sometimes you might say, oh, it's too small. I don't want to bother Jeff. But if you really had to work hard to get that sale, or it's coming off of a streak where you didn't, I want to see that. I want to see, here are my favorite ones. Jeff, I took that technique, this one you taught me, I put it, and I got 2 sponsors. I love that update. Or Jeff, my biggest order before this was blank. Now I just sold my first signature. I love those updates. Sounds good? Let's get those updates in. And if I don't respond to you, don't take it personally. I'm not always able to respond right away. And if it's after 7 p.m., for sure don't expect any response until probably 7 the next morning, if that. Okay, I'm an early riser. Okay. Any questions on the text? And I'll hashtag you. And all the hashtags, if you didn't come to this meeting, you won't know what the heck those are. I hashtag 5 stars. If you haven't come to the meeting, you're gonna go, what's this guy's problem? What a weirdo. I'm gonna hashtag MP3G. You know what that means? It's the experience I want you to get. I'm gonna text hashtag BVOY, best version of yourself. I'm gonna text message TLA. I'll text message 2019. You know what that means. Okay. If you're getting responses, that's good for your radar. Cool. So here's my contest. Can I give you a contest to get out of here? Yes? Contest?
Yes.
Okay. Contest is tonight or tomorrow, because tonight you have your meeting in Phone Jam. The first person to sell a kitchen system or higher. So kitchen system, signature, complete, all the way up to the whole book. Anyone, the first one to sell that, you'll get your choice of 2 prizes. And it's first person. You have to text me. Okay, so right when you sell it, you go, Jeff, am I the first one? You will either get a full sponsorship, which is this. Okay. When you get 50 sponsors, what do you get? You get a piece of Cutco. I will just get you a free piece of Cutco for the first person. Is that cool? More Cutco, and you can pick one that'll help you sell more. Or this is the one that this is Tristan from Fort Myers. Or you pick the other one, which is the networking personal consultation. No matter where you are, whether you're in our territory or if you're in Fort Myers or if you're in Miami, I will drive to your territory. I will pick up you and your manager, and we will have a lunch date, and you can ask me all the Cutco questions that you want. You can have a notebook and pen, and I don't throw a bad lunch either. Okay, and you can ask all the Cutco questions and get one-on-one attention from me, how to get the TLA, how to sell the whole book, and I'll give you a one-on-one time. Cool. Anyone sound like that? They'd enjoy that too? Either one? And your manager would be there too, so they'll know, okay, what's this young lady or young man learning from Jeff? There's a reason I bring the manager too. Okay? Then I won't be offended if you pick the Cutco rocks. If you felt like you got value today, raise your hand. Okay? If you felt like you're better than you got here, raise your hand. Okay. Don't miss Tuesday. I'm just telling you, don't miss Tuesday. There's going to be someone in this room, always one, who finds I can't make it Tuesday, and you're going to miss out. I'm so excited. The future TLA members are in this room. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Text your manager right now. I can't wait to see their face. Text your manager right now. Hey, how do I get on Key Staff? However you want to word it. Please tell me about Key Staff. How do I get into TLA? How do I get an interview for TLA? How do I get invited to SC2? And if your text isn't working, you do it when you get home. Or save it and then send it when you have service. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Appreciate young people working hard. As soon as you send the text, you're free to go. And if you need any of the handouts, I'm going to lay them out. And I ask that you just be organized with it and don't just throw things around, okay? So all I ask is that you give me a handshake or a high five before you get out of here. Easy. Letter. We have a letter. All right. Make sure you say bye before you leave.
Appreciate it. You gave me a good tip.
Yeah. Text me. Okay. Let me turn this off real quick. Hold on. You got it. You too.